Good evening. Welcome to SB Ballard Stadium on the campus of Old Dominion, where tonight the ODU Monarchs play host to the North Carolina Central Eagles. Scott Jackson and Andy Mishaw here in the booth, calling it for you tonight as we get ready for this third meeting all time between these two schools. Andy, Old Dominion won the previous two, but it's been a while since they last played, about 15 years ago, well before the renovations here at this stadium. And last week, ODU, a tough loss at Indiana.
Yeah, they went into the Big Ten land. They did not get their doors blown off against the number 20 team in the country. The problem was they made too many mistakes, 3 interceptions, and the defense had a hard time on second down, set up too many third and short.
North Carolina Central, meanwhile, lost at home to New Hampshire. Let's get to the ones to watch, starting with North Carolina Central's dynamic running back, Chris Mosley.
Yeah, he's the one to watch. Most of the guys that have been watching him, he's been running right past them. This guy's averaging 144 yards a game. He leads the FCS, the country, in rushing. He's only hit 2 games, but 144 yards a game is crazy.
Well, speaking of crazy, Colton Joseph, first play of the game, took it to the house at Indiana.
Yeah, and it's sort of a good, the bad, the ugly with Colton Joseph from last week. The good, the 2 rushing touchdowns, 75 and 78 yards. The bad, 50% passing, less than 100 yards. The ugly, obviously, the 3 interceptions, 2 of which were directly off of him.
Colton Joseph off to such a quick start, as you see, Andy, number 3 in the country right now when it comes to rushing the football for just one game.
Yeah, number 1 versus FBS schools, and keep an eye on this first play. A little side note on the first play action.
That's right. They're trying to go 3 in a row, opening play touchdowns. Of course, last year against Arkansas State, Quinn Hanicle did it. Last week, Colton Joseph did it. So Old Dominion with 2 straight games like that. The record set the NCAA is 3. So we'll certainly see what happens. And they will get the football first, will the Monarchs, as North Carolina Central Eagles have deferred and will take the ball in the second half. So the Monarchs will have the football first. A little warm here this evening.
A little bit.
At 91 degrees right now, partly cloudy. The cold front, they say, is coming through later, but I think we're going to miss it. By then, football will be over. But it's definitely going to be a factor today. We'll see how these teams are conditioned. Of course, we know the Monarchs worked out a lot of these hot days, muggy days here in Norfolk.
Yeah, it's summer reminding us it's still here. You can see the pumpkin latte, but it's still summer.
That's right. You know, the pumpkin lattes may be out there, but it is definitely a little hot for that. So Monarchs will get the football first, and we'll get a look at that offense with Colton Joseph and company as we see the 2 head coaches. Ricky Ronnie in year 6, of course, 5th is the coach here of actual playing, but he is the longest tenured coach in the Sun Belt. And Trey Oliver, the head coach, who's not too far from here, from his hometown of Yorktown, Virginia, where he grew up, played at Tabb High School and played at North Carolina Central, coaching at his alma mater and coaching very well at his alma mater for that matter as well. Trey Oliver had a lot of success in his time there.
Yeah, almost went back-to-back playoff appearances. Their only loss in the conference last year was to the champion, South Carolina State.
Deep kick by Robinson will not be returned, so Old Dominion will take the touchback and get underway on their own 25-yard line.
8-3, 4-1 last year for the Eagles, and again, the only MEAC loss was to the champion, South Carolina State, and that was not a blowout. So this is a team that's not coming in here thinking, we're just going to be a sacrifice. They're coming in here to think, we're going to put some points on the board. We're going to put some pressure on these guys. Yeah,
team that picked second in the MEAC in the preseason, and they're used to playing up against FBS teams as well. Last year played a North Carolina game. They were within a touchdown going into the fourth quarter before their quarterback was injured. So the Monarchs out of the shotgun. Mark-I James, the back, and Gladding next to Colton Joseph. Play action. Joseph goes over the middle. He's got his man caught and taken down, but after a first down, a quick hitter from Joseph to Thomas.
And that's what this offense wants to do. They're going to spread you out there. And this NC Central team is not afraid to go in man coverage. They are going to send people after you. That time, Joseph, easy read and a good route run, and it's an easy open glance route for a pretty big chunk on first down.
18 yards on first down to LaCorey Thomas. Joseph again, waits a snap. This time keeps it, goes right side, gets taken down in the open field. It'll be a no-gainer, really good defensive play coming up on that side as Joseph had nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's an emphasis this week. Coach Oliver has pounded into their brains. This guy will run the football. He knows what Joseph wants to do, and he's put it into their brains. Do not overcommit and stay in your lanes.
James to the left of Joseph out of the shotgun. Going to throw to the left side. Caught upfield towards the first down markers. Gladding able to pick up 11, and it's another first down for ODU as they're in business now in Central Territory.
You know, spacing concept, little hitch routes. Everybody's running it. If you get the right coverage, it's an easy throw. You got to have the timing right, and Joseph had it right on that one.
This time he gives it to James, who's pushing his way forward, might get a couple of yards. That's about it. So Markai James' first carry of the game goes for 2.
And watch these safeties for North Carolina Central. They will creep down. They're not afraid to leave their corners on islands because they were send safeties. They will bring them down a little bit. They will run cover 0 more than you give them credit for.
So 2nd and 8 for the Monarchs. Ball sits on the 42-yard line of North Carolina Central. Opening drive of this game. Home opener here at ODU. Play action, Joseph looking to load up, still looking, under pressure, stays in the seat, fumbles the football, it's down on the ground, and it looks like North Carolina Central is going to come up with it. That's Wisdom Sims that recovers it, so big turnover for ODU there. Joseph has got it, knocked it, lost it for a minute, then trying to recover, and Sims fell on it for the Eagles.
Yeah, this is a pass rush that can get after you, and it just knocked out of his hands. It was coming around the edge, and Johnson, I think, just hit it with his knee.
Yeah, it looked like it just slipped out of his hand. We'll get a
get a chance to look at that replay.
I'd like to see that again. If he just lost it, or if, as you said, did it hit somebody's knee? It might have been Johnson.
Also,
Thomas Johnson.
Know what Joseph was looking at. It was a double move on the left side with Ja'Cory Thomas, who was 5 yards behind the defender. I mean, wide open. Before the pressure really got to him, he just never saw it.
So we see the Central offense with good field position, their own 45-yard line. North Carolina Central, the Eagles out there. Quarterback Walker Harris.
Lefty.
With Chris Mosley to his left. And as you mentioned, the lefty quarterback, give to Mosley. Go right side. He's got 2 straight 100-yard games, and good pickup on first down for him of about 8 yards. Brings up a 2nd and 2.
Yeah, he is slippery, and he's a slasher. And if he gets into open space, he will put the pedal down and burn you. 144-yard a game average. 182 against Southern, 106 against New Hampshire last week.
Harris again out of the shotgun. Takes a low snap, rolling to his left, throws it here near side. Caught, got the first down, and a little bit more, but stacked up is Rafeno Van Gates.
It's a good throw. Good, easy, short throw. You get the quarterback on the run, so he's not a sitting target right there. So a little easy roll out in the flood concept. You pick up the first down, get your quarterback into a rhythm. Eagles got to love how this is going so far.
Eagles trying to take advantage of the Joseph fumble. They got 1st and 10 on the ODU side of the field. Another give to Mosley. Slips a tackle, still on his feet, dives forward. Maybe give him about 5 yards on 1st and 10.
Tell you what, all they did, I mean, last year they had one of the best rushers in the FCS again in Jamari Taylor. He got sniped by UVA. A little controversy over who was recruiting who actually during the season. But he went to UVA, ran all over NC State earlier today. And all they did was replace him with the guy who's leading the FCS again in rushing.
Yeah, he's waited his turn, and he looks more than ready for the part to be the lead back. Another give to Mosley, right side. He's got the first down right there. He's going to be taken down a yard forward of it, so he gets 7 on 2nd down, and the drive continues for North Carolina Central now. Ball sits on the Old Dominion 32-yard line.
And this is what they want to do. I mean, they want to get him going. A couple little sprint outs. They set up the pass with the run, and he hits that hole quick, man. He is through there in a heartbeat. There you see Harris, 58% over the career. He's dangerous enough that you can't take your eyes off him, that's for sure.
So Harris again, this time he's going to give it straight ahead, but nowhere to go. This time the new back in the game was Arthur Rogers Jr., and he got stacked up for a loss of 1. Good penetration by the Monarchs. Seth Nawatala making the start today with Jason Henderson out for ODU, which is a big loss, obviously, not having him here today. Already have Koa Nawatala out as well, so let's get another look at that play.
38, right? I mean, if you're not going to block him, he's going to get there. I think they were trying to kick him out with Taryn Williams, the right tackle, coming across, but he got through there too quickly. By the time Williams got there, Now Atala was already past it.
Mosley's back in the game quickly on this 2nd and 11. Harris sends his tight end in motion. Back to pass. Patted down at the line of scrimmage. Big paw up there, knocked down by the Monarchs defensive line.
Yeah, they sent some pressure after him that time. Blitzers were coming. He had to get rid of that probably sooner than he wanted to.
And Cole Daniels got it. He's got his jersey tucked up so much it's hard to tell.
The linebacker's coming, little stunt. And yeah, up the middle, it's get your paws up there right in the passing lane. Daniels does.
So 3rd and 11, Monarchs trying to get themselves off the field here. Walker's got an empty set here. 3 wide receivers to his right, 2 to his left.
Little confusion on the defense here. They're still shuffling around.
Tight end now in motion, settles. Walker looking, quick slant, caught, and that's going to be a big hit there, but just shy of the first down is Chance Peterson. Now we'll see if the Eagles, and they do in fact stay on the field, because this will be a 4th and 2 coming up, maybe really more like a 1.5 yards.
Well, their kicker's longest is 35 yards.
He had one blocked last week against New Hampshire.
That's Caleb Robinson. And if you want to get an upset, they're thinking you're going to need touchdowns, not field goals. Now, I'd be keeping your ears up here, making sure they're not just trying to get you to jump.
Big game here. Big down as Harris is going to give it straight ahead to Mosley. Who else? He gets stuffed. He didn't get it. He is going to be short by a yard. Old Dominion defense stands up.
I think that's Jaleel Colbreth who met that right at the hole.
It was Colbreth on the bottom of that pile. You see Steiger and also Easterly in there for the Monarchs. So ODU's defense comes up big after the turnover by Colton Joseph. We got a scoreless game here in the opening quarter watching college football on ESPN+. After they were stopped on downs in ODU territory at the 24-yard line, were unable to take advantage of the Colton Joseph fumble. Let's take another look at this, Andy.
Look at the top of your screen. That's 5 yards of separation there for Ja'Cory Thomas that Colton Joseph never saw. He pulls it down, and you're right. I think the ball advantage just slipped right out of his hands. The first
he just lost it, yeah.
The first hit is put on by Smith, and then Johnson is coming across, but he may have just lost it. But at the top of the screen there, you saw Ja'Cory Thomas was at least 5 yards behind the closest defender. It's an easy touchdown if Joseph sees it, but he didn't see it. So now this offense is going to pick up where they left off at.
And we have the 24-yard line. Old Dominion starting this drive, their second of the game. Joseph in there, out of the shotgun. Takes a snap, gives it to James straight ahead, pushes through one tackle. Pretty good pickup on first down of about 5 yards by Markai James.
James is a little bit different kind of a running back than you're going to see from Mosley. He's more patient. He's more of a Le'Veon Bell type back. He's got good vision, and he will wait for a hole to develop.
Joseph throws it this time. Underthrown but caught. Is that a catch? Yes, Trey Brown with a nice diving catch, sliding catch at the 46-yard line. So Old Dominion 1st and 10 at their own 46 on the move.
He read that pre-snap. That's an RPO. He looked over there and saw the coverage and knew if he got inside positioning that Brown was going to be wide open. Big cushions given up by NC Central.
Joseph again, play action. Got all kinds of time. Throws it over the middle, check down, caught. And Butler, the tight end, Jalen Butler makes the reception, picks up about 5. So it'll put up a 2nd and 4 for the 5 for the Monarchs, who are now inside North Carolina Central territory once again.
It's impressive from Joseph because they tried a little double move there, and the Eagles didn't bite on it. But he didn't panic. He stayed right in the pocket. He kept his eyes downfield. And a good, strong catch by his tight end, Butler, there, because that was covered too.
James to the right of Joseph. Another play action, throws it out here to the near side. Once again, Brown. This time he stood up, though. Maybe gets a yard before he's taken down. Bringing up the 3rd down, and we'll call it 3.
Yeah, these smoke screens, they're a huge part of this offense for the Monarchs. That one a little slow in developing.
So it is officially a 3rd and 3 for ODU. This is where the last drive kind of stalled out with a turnover at the 46-yard line of North Carolina Central.
Showing pressure off of the edge.
Snap to Joseph, stepping back, throws it here near side. Oh, it bobbled, incomplete. Intended receiver was unable to pull it in. I believe that was Butler, the tight end.
Yeah.
Once again, going to him, and it looks like ODU's offense is staying out here. They're going for it. Nope, take that back. Now here comes the punter, Ian Brandt.
Well, they started to bring a little bit of pressure from the nickel back at the top, and then they backed out of it. And I think maybe Joseph was trying to rush that. He had more time than he thought he did. But again, that's one you got to have. Your tight end was a big part of this offense with Pat Conroy last year for the Monarchs, and he's gone now, so they're trying to fill that hole.
Darrell Taylor back to receive. End over end punt from Brandt, and he's going to circle under with a fair catch at the 9-yard line. So that is where the Eagles will start their 2nd possession of the game as ODU tries to pin it back and does a pretty good job doing it. We'll come back scoreless first quarter here. You're watching Sunbelt Football on ESPN+. Get all of ESPN college football all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. Scott Jackson, Andy Mashaw here. First quarter, scoreless, 7:21 to go in the opening frame between North Carolina Central Eagles and the Old Dominion Monarchs. Second time we'll see North Carolina Central out in the field. Their last drive stalled out, turned it over on downs in Old Dominion territory. This time they started their own 9-yard line.
Well, the Monarchs, good news. They've got they're closing on their passing yardage total from last week through the first quarter. They had 56 yards passing. They only had 90 last week.
They are throwing the ball. I mean, it looks like Joseph's making more of an effort to stay in the pocket, too, Andy, in the early going here and didn't go through those progressions. Give to Mosley, going left side. He gets stood up. The defense closes quickly. First one in there looked like it was Lynch that got him down first.
Yeah, they're going to have to adjust a little bit. I mean, I know that's their bread and butter, but if the Monarchs are going to throw everything at it and slow it down, if Mosley's not going to get the room, they're going to want to make somebody else beat them other than Christian Mosley. And they're going to have to find it.
DeAndre Lynch found it quickly. Another give to Mosley. This time he goes right side. Can't get up there. Now Atala takes him down in the hole before he could get anywhere. Another no gain. That might have been a loss of one.
That's good work by Old Dominion because he was trying to get that to the left and then had a clean cutback to the right. Watch, this is starting one direction and then bounces it to the outside to the right. And now Atala just right there reading the keys, did not overcommit into the middle, stayed outside and made sure he could not get the edge because when Mosley like that, he's trying to go at the tackle and then bounces it to the outside. He gets that edge, you're not going to catch him.
Now they empty the backfield for Walker Harris.
Watch for
third
the
down and 11
here.
Got 5 wide. Quick screen. It slips one man, but then taking that quickly is Cosby. Nassim Cosby makes the catch. Picks up a little bit of breathing room for the punt team, but that'll bring up a 4th down and 6. So here comes the punt team.
Yeah, that's all they were trying to do is get a little breathing room there. Backed up that far in your own territory. You spread them out and get what you can get.
Naeem Abdul-Rahim gliding back deep for the Monarchs, standing at his own 40-yard line. The punter is Brandon Bowman, averaging 41 yards a punt this season through the first 2 games. Bobbles a snap, it's loose, and he's going to be tackled. Is it going to be a safety or is it a fumble? They're fighting for the ball. That might be an ODU touchdown if it is the Monarchs that recover it, and instead it is
it's either a safety or a
touchdown. We were waiting for the signal for the refs. They're still talking about it. Bowman is hurt. It is a safety, and they did recover it. So Old Dominion's defense, the special team, strikes first as they get the safety off the botched punt snap.
I thought it was a good snap. I think he just bobbled it. We'll take a look at it when we get the replay up, but it looked like the snap wasn't bad. He just took his eyes off it, was looking at the rush, and didn't get it. So the Eagles, I mean, they kind of got away. I mean, if you can get away with it, giving up 2 points instead of 7, but, you know.
So Old Dominion will get the free kick. Back inside SB Ballard Stadium, Scott Jackson, Andy Mashaw, and you see Brandon Bauman. He's okay after this hit he just took on ended up being a safety in the end. He just took his eyes off the ball, looked like, Andy.
The snap was there. He just plain dropped it. The rush was coming, but, I mean, I think he had enough time to get it off. But
it was interesting. When was the play dead, right? Because there's the ball right there, and great heads-up play by A.C. Moore to pick it up, because the referees took a while to signal that it was a safety, and that's what it ends up being. I don't think they
called it down until Moore fell on it. But that saves 5 points right there.
Caleb Robeson now teeing it up on the free kick. Here comes Marki James. Got a lot of space. Got the 35, dives forward to 37. So Old Dominion will have good field position to start this drive, as they still have yet to score on offense. 2 drives, a turnover, and a punt so far for the ODU offense.
And your punter's looking out of his ear hole in the end zone. That's not a good thing usually.
Usually not, yeah.
Remember those you used to be able to get, I was a kid, you used to be able to get order away and get the uniforms. You get the pants,
That's
and then it came with the helmet, the little thin light helmet when you get the jersey on. That's usually what the helmet the punters wear. Well, maybe a little better than that, but not much.
I don't think he's used to get hit like that. New running back for the Monarchs, Traquan Jones, gets the possession here. In motion, Butler. Play action. Going out to Butler. Catches it outside, and there's going to be a flag on the play. Actually, Butler was the blocker for Trey Brown, and I think he held, and that's why this is going to come back.
It's either a hold or he started blocking too early, which would be an offensive pass interference.
Holding. Offense, number 9. 10-yard penalty.
So Butler, the motion man, got too much jersey. Take another look at it.
Yeah, top of the screen. He's the tight end setting that up.
Wow.
I mean, I've seen worse not get called.
That's true. That wasn't too terrible, but nonetheless backs the Monarchs up to the 30.
I tell you, if that's 8 to 9 yards closer to the middle of the field, that doesn't get called. Out there in the open, that's when you get it.
Traquan Jones remains the back. Joseph again back to pass under pressure. He's rolling, coming here near side. Looking for a receiver to open. He's going to now cut up field. Gets to the 35, lowered his shoulder. Took a little bit of a hit there. Not something you want to see your quarterback do, as Max Urin said hello.
There was, the coverage was pretty good all around there. They were trying to get a deep shot off, and there was nobody there. And then he rolls out and escapes. Butler's coming across with him. If you can see him in the back, well, you can't see him because he's not in a position to make a play. He's over there. Joseph's over there on the whole side of the field to himself almost.
So here comes 2nd and 13. As Jones moves to the right now of Joseph. Got 2 receivers on each side. Another play action for Joseph. Throws here near side high, but caught. Excellent work there by Trey Brown III. Climb the ladder. Get a lot of that yardage back, so it brings up a 3rd and about 5 yards for the Monarchs. They need to get to their own 48-yard line for the first.
That's the 4th catch of the quarter for Brown. He's being the offense for Old Dominion right now. But here's another big 3rd down. They were not able to get it last time. Let's see if the Eagles defense will stand up again.
3rd and 4, Joseph. Again with Jones in the backfield with him to his left. Joseph's going to keep it. He's got space. 50, 45, got the first down a little bit more, all the way down to the 39-yard line, and there's a flag late. And I don't know if they're going to get ODU or the defensive back for North Carolina Central.
It looked like
Braxton, who might have got up on Brown. We'll wait for the call.
Tom Andre Braxton and Brown, I think, were going at each other.
Might be a hold.
Result of the play is a run for first down. After the play, personal foul. Offense, number 2. 15-yard penalty.
Not often the wide receiver is the one that's gets called for roughing, or in this case, unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, you were right. He's Tamondre Braxton, and he was blocking him all the way down the field, and I guess he echo of the whistle stopped, and Trey Brown was still going. Braxton didn't like it, but it's after the play, so the first down's going to count, but it's going to wipe out pretty much all of the yardage.
Yeah, new set of downs, although they barely moved. But it is 1st and 10 for the Monarchs. They're up 45. Back to pass again. Joseph throws again near side. Caught and stood up immediately is Ja'Cory Thomas. But a good pickup on 1st and 10 for the Monarchs.
Well, you're seeing the timing is getting better between Joseph and these mostly new receiving core for him this year. These comeback routes, there's a lot of timing involved in chemistry because that ball's got to be out as he's making the break. Because if you're late to the sidelines, it's bad news for the offense usually. But that one was on time and on target.
So ODU another 1st and 10 back to the North Carolina Central side of the field. Thrown it wide side, caught and up the field and taken down quickly. But fighting for some more yardage is TJ Lott with the reception.
That's an RPO. Joseph is making a read, determined pre-snap on the leverage on the outside. These defensive backs, these central defensive backs, man, they are flying to the football. These guys are closing in a hurry, and like Malcolm Reed right there, they're not letting you go once they get their hands on you.
Are you on the move here on the North Carolina Central side of the field? There's Jones, big hole, 30, 20. He can go all the way, and he does. Touchdown, Monarchs. Traquan Jones, the seas parted for him, and he puts it in for 6.
I was just getting ready to say, Joseph may want to think about handing that off more on those RPOs because these defensive backs are tackling. They're spreading out, and that's what happens when they spread out. Right through the middle, inside split. See him coming right through the middle, the block up the middle to the second level, and then there's just nobody around him. Jones takes off.
Traquan Jones, a 39-yard scamper for the score.
Jones had one catch for 6 yards on the season after last week. That was his first rushing yardage of the season.
From Bartow, Florida, extra point is up and good. Georgia Military College last year where he rushed for 607 yards. And first year here at Old Dominion, big play in his first home game. Puts the Monarchs in the end zone. Now it's a 9-0 game after the extra point from Riley. So you see Trey Oliver there. He's having a conversation with his defense, I would imagine, his defensive coordinator in the headset about what happened there. Again, another look at it. Traquan Jones, no doubt about it once he hit the secondary.
Yeah, once you get the interior line up to that second level, they get a hat on that linebacker. The safeties are split wide because they've been throwing those RPOs out to the sidelines. Those smoke screens, safety's starting to cheat to the outside. They're getting a little bit wide. So once you get that linebacker out of the way, there's nobody there.
So Old Dominion in their third drive gets on the board with the offense. Riley Callahan getting ready to tee it up. Back to receive, Chris Mosley and Van Gates as well.
First carry of the season as a Monarch for Traquan Jones. First rush, and it's a touchdown.
Pretty impactful first touch.
That's pretty good slugging percentage.
Out of the backfield, 39-yard touchdown run to cap off the drive. So 7 plays, 62 yards, 3 minutes, 17 seconds, and a 39-yard touchdown run from Traquan Jones.
A little sigh of relief from the late Hudson blue-clad fans here.
Callahan boots it. Going to hit the end zone, but Van Gate's going to take it out. He's got the 20.
Look out.
Got the 30, and he's going to run out of real estate at around the 35, 36-yard line. Got a good return by Rufino Van Gates.
Looked like they had right return set up, and the Monarchs had right or left kick set up, which is right into it, right where they wanted to go, and they had that blocking set up pretty well.
So 1st and 10 after the safety and touchdown. We'll see Walker Harris in the offense. There's the return again. And he just ran out of room, basically, Van Gates did. So they're going to mark him out at the 38-yard line. It's a really good field position here coming up for the Eagles.
Now let's see what they're going to try to put something together, because the Monarchs have been crashing down on Mosley.
Back to pass, Harris over to his tight end, caught here near side, gets taken down. Good tackle in the open field from the Monarchs' Isles as he came up and took down the big tight end, Luke Bracey, who goes about 6'5", 265. Looks like more like an offensive tackle.
Yeah, that's a large tight end.
Bracey, a Black College Football watch list candidate as well. So Walker Harris out of the shotgun again with Mosley to his left.
ODU showing pressure here.
He's pointing to his lineman about where he thinks the pressure is going to come from. Going to give it to Mosley. Mosley's got a hole. He's got the 45, cuts up into ODU territory, taken down the 48-yard line, finally in the open field by Colbreth. But a good pickup there on second down.
Yeah, good communication by Harris that time. He saw that they were bringing both linebackers, and you don't always have to check to a pass when the blitz comes. If you could just get that one guy kicked out, he was directing the protection like you said. They got Colbreth kicked out on the outside, and that's all the hole that Mosley needed.
So Harris with the new back in the backfield, Arthur Rogers Jr. Play action. Harris, the left-hander, under pressure. Gets out of it. He's going to scramble, but taken down, flipped down. Boy, at the last second there, nicely done by Jaleel Colbreth. Could have been a big gain, but instead a 1-yard loss.
And Walker Harris not really known as a running threat. I mean, he will take off if he has to, but I mean, he had 14 carries for 2 yards coming in, and he's not the swiftest quarterback, but just getting out of that at all, getting some kind of positive yardage, or at least back towards the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, showed the spin move to us here. Let's get another look at it as we head to the timeout. As the quarter has come to a close, Old Dominion, after a rocky start and a turnover, have a 9-0 lead. You're watching Sunbelt football here on ESPN+. Welcome back inside SB Ballard Stadium. The Old Dominion Monarchs are on top 9-0 thanks to that man, Traquan Jones, a 39-yard rushing touchdown on his first carry. Gets ODU on the board.
There he is. He's in there somewhere under the tent.
There he comes out, number 20.
Yeah, they're happy with this running back stable they got. They had to replace a good portion of their rushing yardage from last year, but Markai James, a redshirt freshman, Travion Hargrove, and obviously that guy, Traquan Jones.
Harris play action, back to pass, has a screen set up to Mosley, slips one man, stays on his feet, he's got the 45-40 on the sideline, and pushed out of bounds at the Old Dominion 32-yard line. Really well executed screen by the Eagles out of the quarter timeout.
Yeah, that was well set up too. Everybody's keying on that backfield. They're all watching one out of the backfield, so the drop back, linemen get out in front of him, and then he just does what he does. That's Mosley being Mosley. He tweeted about the kicking net there. It's about the only thing that stopped him so far is his own kicking net.
So 32-yard line, 1st and 10 to the Old Dominion territory now for Harris in this offense. Mosley again, 30. Cuts forward, pushes those shoulders up, gets stacked up by 3 Monarchs there, and it took 3 guys to take him down. Jones in there, Easterly.
Problem is for Old Dominion, Jones and Easterly are safeties. Those aren't the guys you want making the tackles in the running game. I mean, you'll take it, but.
And last week, of course, Easterly had 13 tackles.
Yeah, that was a problem at Indiana. They had problems on 2nd down stopping the run.
So Mosley leaves the game. It looks like he had an equipment issue. Arthur Rogers Jr. is the back now on a 2nd down and 5. Again, inside the ODU 30. Harris rolling out, throwing one just kind of away, incomplete. Must have felt a little pressure, so a 3rd and 5 coming up here for the Eagles.
Yeah, they were coming off of the edge that time. I think now Atala was trying to get in there. Easterly may have been coming in at him as well. So he's just like, we'll take 3rd and 5. He knew he had a guy out there. Maybe he can make a play on it, but just don't make the mistake and turn it over.
So Mosley remains on the sideline for this 3rd down, getting some water. And Rhodes stays in the game as the back.
This might also be 4-down territory.
You got to think it is, right? I mean, that was probably, they passed on a field goal earlier, similar situation on the other side of the field. Here comes the snap to Harris, back to pass. Now under pressure, throws it near side, incomplete. ODU got some good pressure on the inside there. The big guy coming through was number 94, Ricardo Williams Jr., who broke through and hurried him off his spot.
I don't know if they were trying to throw that back designed that way, or because Chance Peterson, the receiver who went out in motion, just carried it out into the flat, and that was there.
4th down, they are staying on the field here for 4th and 5, as we suspected. Mosley, though, back in the game, and trips to the left of Harris in this formation. Big down here for the Eagles.
8 guys, almost 9 guys in the box for Old Dominion.
Back to pass, Harris, got time, throws the deep ball, and it's going to be overshot. Receiver falls down, and the referees throw the flag. They're going to call a PI. Boy, that was a late one. Isles.
It doesn't look good. I give you that. The
Davon
optics.
Isles gets called for the PI. I don't know. It seemed like the ball
Pass
was
interference.
way over the receiver's
Defense.
head.
15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
Now the optics when you land on top of the receiver at the same time the ball's hitting the ground are not good. Now I don't know whether he was going to be able to catch that or not. Let's take a look. I mean, they're tangled up. He's got contact on him. I mean,
He lost his footing, yeah. He lost his footing. I think it was, I don't know if he even catches the football, but there's still contact. You can't assume it if you're the ref. You got to throw it there. So big break there for the North Carolina Central Eagles. Are there now with the football sitting on the Old Dominion 12-yard line. Mosley, the lone back to the left of Walker Harris here. So they're looking for their first points. Here goes Mosley, bouncing it outside, makes one man miss, but gets stacked up, and we got a flag on the play. Might have a hold at the line of scrimmage. Jaleel Colbreth at least thinks he was held. He's pointing.
Jaquan Sprinkle, the right tackle.
At the right tackle.
Like sitting on him, and that's where they threw the flag.
Yeah, exactly what they're calling.
Offense, number 55. 10-yard penalty.
Actually called on 55, which
That's
was
the
the
other
left
tackle.
tackle, Trayvon Humphrey. But either way, it's a big penalty backing up North Carolina Central after they were in a good spot.
I mean, they've moved the ball. Mostly despite being the almost sole target that the Monarchs are having to zone in on, they're still moving the football here, but they've had a couple penalties.
It's going to make 1st and 20. They need to get to the Old Dominion 2-yard line for a 1st down. Again, Mosley the lone back. Mosley going left side. Going to try to bounce out. Gets taken down to the line of scrimmage. Behind the line of scrimmage maybe as well is Trinidad. Chris Trinidad, the All Sun Belt preseason selection, cut him down for a loss.
This is an Old Dominion defense that got pushed around a little bit by Indiana, but also had 2 goal line stands against Indiana as well, and they came away with no points.
Talking to Coach Ronnie this week, he said he loved the red zone defense from his squad, but still they needed to get themselves off the field better on 3rd downs in that game. This time, Arthur Rogers Jr. joins Walker Harris in the backfield as Mosley takes a seat. Back to pass, near side, caught Van Gates, and he's taken down quickly, but does get back some of the yardage that's been lost here as Steiger takes him down quick. Brings up a 3rd and 12.
That's the play they ran a couple of plays ago, and I thought it was there. Peterson just continues that motion out into the flats, and he's got the speed to break one if you're not paying attention to him.
So 3rd and 12 again. They need to get to the Old Dominion 2-yard line for the first. Arthur Rogers Jr. stays in the game as the running back, the Marshall transfer, next to Walker Harris, who's got trips to his left.
They might give him comfortable enough range for a field goal if they don't go backwards here.
Back to pass Harris, quick hitter, caught and spun around, but taken down Peterson close to the marker. He might be right on it, maybe a yard shy it looks like.
That would be an interesting decision.
4th and 1 coming up, yeah, it looks like 4th and 1, just shy of it, as Chance Peterson makes a great catch and took a big hit too to hold on to that football.
That was a great route, and that ball was right on target. Tight window, he got rid of it quickly. Hit him right in stride. Yeah, Jones put the shot on him.
But he kept the ball. So it's 4th down and 1, and they're staying on the field. ODU's bringing the beef in.
That looks like a tush-push formation.
Rogers. Rogers the back, straight ahead. Harris trying to tush-push. I don't know if he went anywhere. The referee on the far side of the field's running out.
Yeah, this is
I don't know how you spot that.
This is going to be a right foot, left foot spot, because I don't think you can review that. There's nothing that you're going to be able to see to change it.
Now Harris got to reposition himself when the pile was going, but the play was blown dead before that. So again, I don't know how you see it. Depending on where it is, it doesn't look like a Steiger for Old Dominion saying they don't have it.
Full yard, yeah,
then
right
you
there.
hear Sprinkle is saying they did get it.
I don't
now
see
the
a lot
refs
of
say
movement.
move back. I thought they needed to get the 2. They truly needed to get the 2. I don't think they got it.
I didn't see a whole lot of push on that tush push.
It was an interesting thing. Mosley was not in the game again for the last couple plays. Don't know if he's dealing with an injury or what, but now we're going to get a replay review. Now this is where you need the chip in the ball, right? I mean, this is where we need the chip in the ball.
The Hawkeye.
The Hawkeye, the NFL's in this Hawkeye thing now.
That helps with the. It doesn't help with the spot. It
does
helps
not help with the
it,
spot at all. No, it's just
whether
with a look at it. Yeah,
got
saves the chain gang from
not.
running across the field. Essentially, is what they're doing.
Those guys need exercise.
Let's
too.
see
We
how
don't
they're
have to
doing.
Take all the technology.
Exactly. I think those guys are just as fast as the Hawkeye because half the time they tell the teams to move out of the way. So let's see where these chains pull. We got a good shot here down the line, and it is going to be shy by a half yard. Yeah, he needed to get to the 2, didn't get there. So ODU's defense again with a big-time red zone stand, just like last week. They did it a few times to the Indiana Hoosiers. Today they do it to North Carolina Central.
They start every possession inside the 15. They'll be doing all right.
So 11:04 to go in this opening half. Monarchs on top 9-0 with the football. You're watching college football on ESPN+. Fowler Stadium. Scott Jackson, Andy Bashaw here with you as you see the North Carolina Central offense after being stopped at the Old Dominion 3-yard line. Here's that look at the fourth down, Andy, on that tush push.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of push in that push. He just sort of, they got low on the front. Usually it's the low man that wins, and Monarchs won that time.
Just goes back to my theory. There's only one team that's really good at this play, and they're the ones that are making money off of it, the Eagles.
We were talking about it. Everybody wonders why the Eagles are so good at it. Well, Jalen Hurts' dad was a power lifter. They got squats Volkswagens. In
fumbled snap or fumbled exchange by the Monarchs and Hargrove and Colton Joseph, and he lands on it right at the 1-yard line, or I should say the goal line, just in front of the goal line. So he avoids the safety, but barely. Oh, my goodness. That was almost a disaster. I don't know did Hargrove didn't he take it, or did Colton pull it too quick?
NC Central saying that should be a safety. They're putting that ball. I don't think you could move it closer to the goal line without touching it.
So Contravian Hargrove, the new running back in there.
They ruined my Jalen Hurts line.
Was unable to get the exchange from Joseph. That was almost a disaster. Now you got players off. Might have a free play here if you're Joseph. He's going to throw one up. Why not? He's got Brown who catches it. What a big catch right at the 45-yard line of the Monarchs. Big play on the free play by Colton Joseph and Trey Brown.
Trey Brown is just having a night. They got to make sure.
Offside.
Yeah.
Defense. That penalty's declined. Result of the play. First down.
Big time throw and catch by this Old Dominion offense. They wanted to get the passing game going after last week, and they sure did there.
He knew it was a free play. Brown just streaking down the sidelines, caught a step, and then the diving snag. That's 5 catches for Brown. 73 yards here in the first half. Well, really, first quarter and like a third of a quarter.
Right. That's the ball sits at the Old Dominion 46. They're calling it a 44-yard pass play. I feel like it was a 45-yard, but we'll go with the stats people for now. Joseph again out of the shotgun. Give this time to the right side is James, Hargrove, who takes the ball and maybe gets a yard. That's about it. Bring him 2nd and 9.
That's good recognition, not just by Joseph, but also by Brown to know that, hey, this is a free play. Whatever the route is, you check it to something deep and take the shot.
Obviously, the longest pass play of the season for the Monarchs, too, this young season.
Well, Brown's got 74 yards. It's very close to what the Monarchs had all of last week.
Hargrove remains in the backfield with Joseph. Johnson in motion, the tight end. Hargrove's going to go left side. Not going to get much more there either, maybe another yard. So 3rd and 8 coming up for Old Dominion. Ball sits on their own 48-yard line.
And Max Urin is he's doing some work in there at that middle linebacker spot. 6 tackles last week, 1.5 sacks, 12 on the season coming in. He's holding it down in the middle.
Now James is back in. Mark-I James back in as the back for Old Dominion here on this 3rd and 8. Joseph back to pass, looking. He's under pressure. He's going to get sacked. He's going to drop to the 40-yard line. And who else but Johnson comes in there. Thomas Johnson, outstanding player. Missed most of last season, but he's a tough guy to block.
Thomas Johnson now has a sack, at least 1 sack in every game that he has played this year. That's just on the outside edge. Holding it maybe a little too long. They hadn't got a whole lot of pressure on him. You think maybe Joseph has just got a little too comfortable that time. But that's 1 sack in each game so far for Thomas Johnson, who also led him in tackles for loss, led this whole defense and everything on your defensive end spot.
He just bull rushed, and Bourne had no chance. Shank punt by Brandt, and it's going to bounce at the Central 36 and go roll down and die at the 34-yard line. So not exactly what Old Dominion had drawn up for that one. And will be good field position for North Carolina Central. With 7:58 to go in this opening half, Old Dominion leading 9-0. You're watching Sunbelt Football here on ESPN+. Back here at SB Ballard Stadium, 7:58 to go in this opening half. Old Dominion's punter, Ian Branch, I've never seen that one before. I got to say, Andy, that's a first for me.
He almost drop kicked that. That ball almost hit the ground before it hit his foot. And the Monarchs are lucky it bounced where it hit.
Yeah, he's lucky he didn't hit one of his linemen and just stopped there. But nonetheless, good field position for NC Central, but it could have been much worse, as you said, for Old Dominion on that exchange.
Talking about a guy that was averaging over 50 yards a kick last week. And
it's Walker Harris's number so far, 7 of 10, 63 yards passing.
Eagles got to be feeling, look, if we clean up some of our mistakes, we're in it now, but we should be leading this game.
Chris Mosley takes it left side. Stacked up, drop down. Good defense there by Old Dominion. Coming in there quickly was Jeremy Mack.
At the outside linebackers, this group is solid. Colbreth and Mack and Mario Thompson, whose name we haven't even called yet. But the inside, they thought they had the depth with Koa Nawatala and Jason Henderson. Both of those guys have been injured and not been able to 100%. And they hope to get Nawatala back in a couple of weeks, but the depth in the middle has been not what they thought they had.
Again, Mosley, this time he's got some space, gets across the 41-yard to the 41-yard line. So a 3rd and 4 coming up for North Carolina Central. Make it 3rd and 3 coming up for North Carolina Central. After a 7-yard pickup from Chris Mosley.
Yeah, Frank a little bit slow in getting up for the Monarchs there. The
Officials,
Frank already playing with that club too.
Please reset the game clock to 7:09.
Zion Frank, you see him walking off. He's got a big club on his left hand.
Yeah, and Indiana went after him last week. They saw that club, and they just went right at him all day long. He played pretty well.
We'll take a timeout with the injury. 9-0, 7:09 to go in this opening half. You're watching college football here on ESPN+.
Nope, maybe not.
All right, we'll keep it here as the referees get us back quickly. So 3rd and 3.
It's a pump fake
for the Eagles. Walker Harris with Chris Mosley in the backfield. Mosley, 200-yard games already this season today, 38 yards on 11 carries. Back to pass. Harris looking it over, throws it over the middle. He's got the man caught, and a first down by Peterson. Chance Peterson, kind of his go-to guy.
Yeah, Peterson he's been the guy so far for NC Central through the air, that's for sure.
So Peterson gets the yards needed, and the chains move, and it's a 1st and 10 close to midfield for North Carolina Central. Still trying to get on the board here.
5th catch for Peterson, little spot route right over the ball that time.
Give to Mosley. He gets through some traffic, spins around. What a good run to not lose yardage and actually gain a couple.
He should have lost yardage.
Wow.
That guy's like tackling an eel.
He's a strong runner now. He's going to go take a break.
The guy got 2 hands on him, and somehow he got out of that, backed up, and then surged forward to get anything that he could get.
Well, he got through there. Now Atala brought him down, but kind of just weaved through the traffic there.
He's got he's 41 yards right now.
Arthur
and
Rogers.
He's earned every one of them.
Junior now the back in the game on the 2nd and 7 for the Eagles inside Old Dominion territory. Rogers goes right side. He gets pulled down quickly. And another really good tackle at the line of scrimmage by Jeremy Mack.
He's right there. He almost took that handoff. I mean, he was right there waiting for that mesh point. I mean, I don't think Mosley would have done much better. Because, I mean, they're just trying to get that to the outside. It's just way too slow in developing. Watch Ford just appear right there. He was in the backfield waiting for that.
So 3rd and 7 coming up for the Eagles. Trailing 9-0, 5:11 clock ticking here in this opening half. Harris rolling to his left, quickly throws it up, picked off by the Monarchs. Coming the other direction is Jones. Can he stay on his feet? No, he gets taken down, but a big play by the Old Dominion safety, Jerome Carter, with the pick for the Monarchs. And we got a flag on the return, or was it before it? We'll wait and see. Do you think it was right in the vicinity of where the interception from Jerome Carter took place?
Yeah, that one's on Harris. He overthrew that. There's a little wheel route. They were trying to look like Mosley out of the backfield was flying down the sidelines. He didn't like it, so he tried to check it down on the run. Left-hander now, left-hander rolling that direction. just overthrew him, and Carter.
The result of the play is an interception by Old Dominion. During the return, personal foul, blindside block, intercepting team, number 6, 15-yard penalty, first down, Old Dominion.
Zion Frink, who had just left the game a little while ago, gets called for the blindside block on the return, so that field position is going to take a little bit of a hit, but it will be Old Dominion football after the Jerome Carter interception, his first of the year, and obviously a big time here for ODU.
I think he's trying to force one to Peterson there. Lefty quarterback rolling to his left, and he just missed him. He overthrew it, and Carter just ate it up.
Monarch football, we continue here. You're watching Sunbelt Football on ESPN+.
Here's that pick. Look, they're coming across. See Mosley at the top of the screen. He's going deep. They take that away, and then he's forced to try to get it to Peterson. Overthrows it. And then the blindside block is way back on the other side of the 50.
I don't think Frink was back on the field because he's pretty easy to pick out. He's got the club in his hand. But
anyway, it was kind of behind the play. Yeah. It had nothing to do with where the ball was at.
Either way, Jerome Carter, first career interception for the Monarchs, and they're back in business on their side of the field. Joseph looking to load up again. Caught here near side by Thomas. Thomas cuts upfield, got the 50 down to the 48. Still fighting for some more yardage. He's going to be tackled down at the 46-yard line in Eagle territory.
Both of these guys, Ja'Cory Thomas, Trey Brown, one thing they have in common, aside from leading the Monarch passing attack, is they're both from Hutchinson Community College last season, JUCO national champions together, and they came over with two other guys from Hutchinson to join the Monarch.
Play action to James. Back to pass again. Joseph got a little pressure on him. He's going to roll to his left. Going to throw it downfield. Oh, overthrown Brown. Brown was slipping. Would have been a heck of a catch, but incomplete. So Joseph at least avoided a negative play there. Bring him 2nd and 10.
A little better work from the receivers that time, though, because last time Joseph scrambled out like that, there was nobody on that side of the field except for Butler, who was covered. This time, Brown saw him scrambling and came from the opposite side of the field. I mean, it was almost a 40-yard sprint to get from where he was to where Joseph was, just to give him somewhere to go with the ball.
So 2nd down for Old Dominion from the 45-yard line of the Eagles. 4:17 to go in this opening half. 9-0 football game. ODU on top. In play action for Joseph. Throws over the middle. He's got his man, and it's caught by Thomas once again as he's wrestled down inside the 30-yard line. And another 1st and 10 for the Monarchs.
That's an RPO again. Now he's reading that safety. The cushions they're giving on the corner are big, which means the safety is the only thing that's protecting that middle. And he's back into the center of the field and a nice little glance route.
James straight ahead. Mark-I James picks up about 5 on 1st down. So he gets the carry. Old Dominion today, after last week's outing where they only had 96 yards passing, much different today, over 128 on 10 of 11 for Colton Joseph.
And this kind of offense, when they want to go up-tempo, they're usually going to get stacked formations way wide, and they will run this smoke screen out of it. But they'll do it out of different formations, different sets, and they'll do it really quickly.
Mark I. James, the back next to Joseph to his left. Old Dominion on the 10-yard line with the 1st and 10. Give James. Can't juke one. Well, it does. Pops off the tackle, gets it inside the 10. Still fighting. Good 4 to 5 yard run. They're going to go him a 4-yard run. They're going to stop him at the 6.
Well, there's one that should have been stopped in the Monarchs' backfield, and he stays alive. For a guy who's kind of a patient slasher type of runner, I mean, he's 6'1", 206. He doesn't run like 6'1", 206. He did that time.
Thomas Johnson has to leave the game for North Carolina Central. Terrific defensive end.
Right there.
He got hurt there on the end of that play, the way he came down.
Carrying Johnson. That's a 255-pound defensive end. He's carrying on his back for a few extra yards.
So it's a goal-to-goal situation for Old Dominion here. From the 6-yard line. Back to pass Joseph. Throwing it towards the end zone. He's got Raheem Gladding. Touchdown, Gladding and the Monarchs.
First touchdown for Gladding. The Monarchs' leading returning receiver, but he only had 2 catches last year.
This will be his first of this season. Remember,
yeah, he had the one last year.
One last year on the Thursday night game.
Little scissors route there as Gladding takes it to the corner. The inside receiver running a slant, little interference, but it's man coverage. He just throws that ball to the back pylon and lets Gladding go get it.
Naeem Abdul-Rahim Gladding with the touchdown. The leading receiver coming back after just catching 2 passes last year, but very productive player out of Stonebridge High School in Ashburn, Virginia, and gets his first touchdown of this season as the Monarchs trying to add to the lead with the extra point here from Callahan, and it is up and through the uprights. 16-0 with 2:30 to go in this opening half.
First touchdown pass of the year for the Monarchs.
Definitely been a point of emphasis clear today, Andy, just to throw the football, and they've done it rather well.
So Abdul-Rahim Gladding, it's actually 2 names. His mother's name was Abdul-Rahim, his father's name was Gladding, so he takes both of them, their last names. But yeah, he was that. We talked about the new receiver core for the Monarchs, and he was really the only guy coming back that had made a catch. He had 2 catches for 18 yards and a touchdown last season, and that was your leading returning receiver.
So that was for the 3rd fewest in the country of all the college football teams. 2 receptions returning from last season, and Gladding was that guy. And big kid, 6 foot, close to 200 pounds. He plays
long,
bigger than
too.
6 feet
he's
tall.
got long arms.
He's very long, so he plays taller. Big play there. Here is the kickoff, and that's going to hit the end zone. Van Gate's going to take it out. He's got going to go far side of the field, and cuts back and gets dropped, and there's a flag. That's probably not good news for North Carolina Central. Usually that's blocking the back territory. We'll see what the call is.
Van Gates, he was close there. He's a lot closer than I think some people thought he was. He got to the outside. He'd got one more block. He'd have had that edge.
Yeah, Rufino Van Gates, he's aggressive on these kickoff returns, but got an illegal block here somewhere, it looks like. That was a great toss, by the way, by the official.
May have been a bit too aggressive on that one, because this one's going to wind up costing you with the block.
As it is, he just got to
There is no foul. We're holding.
Picking it up.
First down, North Carolina Central.
So there you go.
So in that case,
flag
it's
is picked up.
going to cost you 8 yards.
Yeah, because it's going to set up, it looks like the 17 is where they're finally marking it. It's a 17-yard line. 2:22 to go. North Carolina Central has all 3 timeouts, plus the 2-minute timeout.
they've been able to move the ball. Monarchs are starting to push this offense downfield with their passing game, so they've got total advantage, 184 to 95 now. But, Mosley, he's a game breaker.
Back to pass, Harris, the lefty. Got Van Gates who gets stacked up, fights off and tackles, still spinning around. He still hasn't gone down. He's still moving forward towards the 25-yard line. So Rafino Van Gates showing some toughness for 8-yard pickup. But we got a flag in the backfield.
Personal foul. Legal hands to the face. Defense, number 9. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down. Number 51 for North Carolina Central can stay in the game.
For the illegal hands of face, that's why I think we saw the helmet go flying off, right? Is that what they cut Lynch for? DeAndre Lynch for the illegal hands to the face, and that's tacked on to what was about an 8-yard pickup. So really good exchange there for the Eagles, who would now have the ball sitting at their 40-yard line with the 1st and 10, 2:12 to go.
Because that's tacked on to the end. And if your hat comes off by removal from the other team, you don't have to come out. So they keep their line intact.
So Harris, again, have Mosley in there. Play action to Mosley. Harris trying to load up. Got some pressure. He's going to scramble. There's a flag on the play. Harris dives towards the 50-yard line. Is going to be down at the 48, but I think it might be coming back the other direction.
Yeah, this looks like a holding.
Holding. Offense, number 51. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, it's AC Moore, left guard.
Get another look at it.
Right in the middle of the screen right there. The takedown.
A bit of a takedown. I don't know. Interesting. Well, maybe just now they threw it out.
I don't know about. He tried to draw one back at the end with the flop, but yeah. I don't know about that one.
Well, the Monarchs will take it. Backs up the Eagles to the 30. So a 1st and 20 coming
this
up.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout. And that will get us to a timeout as well. 16-0 Old Dominion. North Carolina Central trying to put some points on the board before the half. You're watching Sunbelt football here on ESPN+. Get all of ESPN college football all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log on with your TV provider. 16-0 Old Dominion on top of North Carolina Central. 2 minutes to go in this opening half. A 1st and 20 coming up after the hold for the Eagles from their own 30-yard line. Quick hitter to Van Gates, who gets spun down quickly by the Old Dominion defensive lineman Chris Forbes, who came flying in from Upper Marlboro, Maryland.
Timeout.
No, he read
Old
that. That's a
Dominion,
tunnel
first
screen.
and a half.
They're
This will
trying
be
to
a
set it up to
30-second
the
timeout.
left side. Van Gates in his speed, in a little bit of space. There's no space there. You're running that into the hash. And he just reads it and comes in from the inside, from the defensive end spot, and just collapses down on it.
Impressive athleticism there. He was a redshirt freshman, appeared in a couple games last season, and getting in this rotation of defensive linemen here tonight. So the Monarchs burned their first time out with 1:54 to go.
Kind of a big little sequence here. Big little sequence. But 2nd and 22, the Monarchs get a stop. They're looking to put some more points on the board before the half, because remember, NC Central gets the ball to start the second half. In their perfect world, they go down and put points on the board, any kind of points at all. The Eagles do, and then they get the chance to double it up.
Little 2-for-1 action. Rhodes in the backfield now, next to Harris to his right. Walker Harris waits the snap. Going to give it to Rhodes. Going left side. Got a big hole. He's got it to the original line of scrimmage and a little bit more. He'll get taken down at the 43-yard line. But a big pickup brings up a 3rd and 7 now.
Player
and another
down
timeout.
For Old Dominion.
We got an injured Monarch way back downfield. And is that Jeremy Mack, number 4?
Trying to get a number. Well, we know it's not Colbreth.
No, it's not Mack either. He's over here. Looked like a single-digit number. So we'll wait and see when they get the player up at the quick timeout. So 1:41 to go. It'll be a 3rd and 9.
Way behind the play.
Make that a 3rd
10-yard
and 8.
line.
Here, let's take another look at it. We can see where the player went down. It was a good run by Rhodes.
It's the biggest run by anybody not named Mosley.
Yeah, Frink got in there. Players. The Mario Thompson. Yeah, number 0. New number this year for Thompson. And he is the player being helped off the field.
Because of the injury to the defensive player, North Carolina Central has the option for a 10-second runoff.
That's
and
why
has to climb.
they're getting thin at linebacker. We talked about that. He's one of the outside guys that they needed. But with the Henderson not being ready to go this week, now Atala still not being able to go, that'll be the 3rd starting linebacker, or 3rd linebacker out of the 2 deep that has gone down.
So Thompson getting help getting off the field. It's a good sign. He is putting pressure on both his feet, but still does have the support of 2 of the medical staff. So a 3rd and 8 now coming up with 1:41 to go.
One of the strongest and deepest position groups they had coming into fall camp, and it's been whittled down here. 2nd game of the season.
Harris out of the shotgun again. Arthur Rhodes Jr. stays in the backfield with him.
Big down here for both teams.
Fans getting on their feet here at SB Ballard Stadium, Cornblaw Field. Harris back to pass under pressure. Now he's going to step up in the pocket, throw man wide open is Rhodes. He's got the first down to the Old Dominion 45-yard line.
Blitz came. It was picked up on the outside. Good job buying time that time for Harris, stepping up, climbing the pocket. And Rhodes, I think, was in protection, and he just slipped out once he saw his quarterback step up. Yeah, he just slips out there in the open space, gives him a target, picks up a first down.
Arthur Rogers Jr. on the play. Now Mosley back in the game. Harris throwing the deep ball, and there's going to be a flag. There's going to be an interference called the Monarchs, it looks like, as Chance Peterson was the intended receiver. There's a lot of tangling up there, and they're pointing towards ODU.
Pass interference. Defense, number 2. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So they do get ODU on the
Steiger,
PI.
the safety.
DeCondre Steiger.
And I think he was I think they were both lost. Nobody knew where the ball was. They just kind of ran into each other.
So they get DeCondre Steiger for the PI. And here's another, the end of the play there. 31-yard line is where the ball sits now.
There was a flag. We know that.
Ball sits at the 31-yard line of the Monarchs. 1:19 to go. North Carolina Central still has all 3 timeouts as well.
Suddenly this is getting concerning for the guys in blue, and NC Central's thinking we might actually get a chance to get that double up.
Yeah, want to get the points before half, and then, of course, they deferred the opening kickoff. Walker Harris a little low on that one. Big hit administered by Frink coming up on Peterson.
Again, Old Dominion being aggressive. They're sending blitzers after him. He read it that time and got rid of it in a hurry, but a little late, a little low. And Frink saw that one coming, and he's kind of lucky he got away with that.
So 1:15 now left in this opening half, which brings a 2nd and 10 from the ODU 31. Harris got trips to his right.
Look at all the blue shirts up near the line of scrimmage.
He's trying to set his protection.
Yeah, that's why he's changing it. It's one safety deep.
Back to pass. Harris throws the beat ball. Going to Peterson, and that's going to be incomplete. And this time, no flags in the play, as you saw. Obviously, Steiger wanted to make sure there was nobody throwing flags at him this time.
I said there was a flag, but that's a towel. That's not a flag. It came off of somebody's waistband. But, yeah, that was it. They were sending pressure. He adjusted the pressure. Harris read it. Saw there was only one safety who was kind of leaning the other direction. So that's the right read. He took a shot with Peterson. But Steiger was, that's you wearing the same jersey with that kind of coverage.
Empty backfield for Walker Harris on a 3rd and 10. The tight end goes in motion. And over the middle, Peterson catches it on the slant, but he's going to be just shy by a yard. And an interesting decision here for North Carolina Central with a minute to go. Clock ticking. They have a timeout to burn. They've had 3 timeouts to burn, and they have done it.
Another Monarch down. That's why they haven't had to take any time.
Injury to the defense.
That's Carter. That's
that's the guy who got
man
the
who had the 1 interception,
yeah.
Jerome Carter.
That's the 2nd time they've gone to that slant, little glance route to Peterson. There's 2 safeties deep, and they're dropping back at the snap, which means that's there. He gets inside positioning. That's an easy throw and an easy catch. But the tackle made instantly, and the 2nd time that they've been driving this direction, that slant has come up a yard short on 3rd down.
Carter looked like he might have taken a shot on Peterson coming down. When Peterson was coming down, like his helmet might have got his arm.
Because of the injury to the defense under 2 minutes, North Carolina Central has the option for a 10-second run-off. They will accept the 10-second run-off. Please set the game clock to 47 seconds.
So again, the Monarchs' depth being tested here in this first half. As you mentioned, and linebackers already down their starting 3, and now you have your starting safety taking a seat.
Now Trey Oliver is more than okay with taking 10 more seconds off of this because they have plenty of time and it's 4th down. So he's taking time away from the Monarchs there.
Interesting decision, 4th and 1. They're going to try to get some points here.
Well, they haven't done very well on short yardage today.
Caleb Robinson.
0 for 3 on 4th down.
Robeson on the season is 1 for 2 from this range. From 39 yards out, and Old Dominion's going to – Monarchs going to burn a timeout?
Game clock operator.
No, the game
clock will start on my ready for play.
Got an issue.
It was, the clock was running when they stopped it, so it should start running as soon as for the injury when it was stopped, so it should roll again as soon as they mark it ready, and it didn't.
So
but the clock operator is kind of icing the kicker here.
Yeah, I saw Ricky Ronnie. He wasn't asking for a timeout, so I thought that was interesting. So 40 seconds to go. Clock is moving.
Yeah.
Robeson lining up here from 39 yards out.
Would be a new long for him.
He had one blocked last week. And 1 for 2 from this range on the young season. The holder is the quarterback, Walker Harris.
It's a long hold here.
They're really working the clock here.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Will they actually kick the ball?
No, he's going to call a timeout.
I think he's going to burn a timeout right about now. So 1 second left on the game clock.
Trey Oliver was standing beside the side judge.
Interesting.
And that's all right because it's not really icing your kicker because you assume you tell him that's what we're going to do before you send him out there, so he's not just standing there waiting.
Game clock operator.
So they're taking as much time off of this clock as they can. They took the 10-second runoff, and they took all of that down to make sure that the Monarchs do not have a chance to do anything, so that it'll essentially be almost like a turnover because they'll get back-to-back possessions here.
Right. It's big for them. That's why they want to at least get some points here. As we mentioned, Caleb Robeson, 1 and 2 from this range, 2 for 3 on the season, but had the one blocked last week. And 35 is the long for the year, so you mentioned it. It's going to be his long of the season if he hits it.
Last season, he was mostly a kickoff guy. He's taking over the place kicking job this year, so there you go.
So Robeson lining it up. Snaps there, holds there, kick is up, and the kick is good.
No problem with that one.
North Carolina Central gets to the board. He had plenty of leg from 39 with 4 seconds left in the opening half, making a 16-3 game. And, of course, we'll have the ball coming out of the locker room to start the second half after they deferred.
That right there is a gutsy drive from a gutsy team and a gutsy coach. Remember, they were back in their own territory to start that drive. It was 2nd down and 22. And they got that one long run that set them up again. A couple of great completions, a couple of good reads from Harris. And that was a big boy drive to end the half, almost end the half, and keep them in this game.
Coming up at halftime, Mario Easterly sat down with Andy Michaud. So your conversation with Mario coming up at the half. Of course, we'll have the halftime highlights and numbers for you as well. So far, Walker Harris is 10 of 15, 80 yards. Does have that one interception. So make that 10 of 16, 80 yards of the interception. Chris Mosley, Old Dominion's done a pretty good job on him. Long run has been 9 yards, 12 carries, 41 yards for Mosley so far. Colton Joseph, 14 of 16, 188 yards and a touchdown pass. So the Old Dominion passing game certainly taking a big uptick this week after a rough go of it at Indiana. Here's the kickoff. Roberson is a squibber. And it'll be picked up by one of the up men and fallen down quickly. And there's still going to be about 3 seconds left in this half. Rhodey's going to have to come out and either take a shot or perhaps just take a knee.
One would think they'd take a knee here, but you fall on that just to make sure it's not bouncing around and Eagles don't get it.
Exactly, that's onside otherwise, so smart play by the special teams. Got to keep possession of the ball. It was Hunter Malecki, that freshman, the heads-up play there. So ODU
no, that's
formation looks like they might run a play here.
Yeah, that's not a victory knee formation.
Not at all. So they have Traquan Jones in the backfield. Now he's going to move to the left side of Colton Joseph, and we've got whistles and a timeout by North Carolina Central. They didn't like something they saw.
Timeout, North Carolina Central.
Yeah,
the second time.
I mean, you have the timeout. If you're Trey Oliver over there on the sidelines, and if your guys are expecting a knee and they don't come out showing it, you just want to. I mean, they looked like they were set up, but you want to make extra sure that they're not going to do anything crazy and everybody's on the same page. If you got the timeout, you may as well use it and make sure.
Yeah, and they of course saved a bunch of timeouts in that drive because they kept getting the Old Dominion injury timeouts as they were able to store those timeouts. They still have one more.
It's a 7-play, 61-yard drive. They took 2:18.
Get that field goal, 39 yards.
And really, they've been in field goal range probably 2 other times. This could be, 16-9, very easy. But they tried to go for it on 4th down and couldn't get it. So, I mean, the Eagles have, they're right in this, taking a couple of punches, but they haven't laid down at all.
No, this is a lot of football left to be played here. Again, Traquan Jones the back. He has the ODU rushing touchdown of 39 yards out today. Joseph gives it to Jones. Jones going to cut back, has got a hole. Got a big run there to end the half. Gets up to the 40-yard line, about a 12-yard pickup. And that will get us to the end of the first half. ODU in their home opener, 16-3 on top of North Carolina Central. The Eagles will get the ball to start the second half. Andy Bashaw's conversation with Mario Easterly coming up next, as well as halftime highlights and stats. Stick with us. You're watching Sunbelt Football on ESPN+.
A veteran. Redshirt junior, Mario Easterly, Old Dominion safety. Thanks for joining us, Mario.
Thank you for having me.
We'll start there. You are a veteran in that group now. Haven't been here a few years, been very productive last couple of seasons, but a secondary group that's had to replace a whole lot of personnel. How's it been?
I mean, it's been good. You know, we got a lot of new guys, but you know, we all bond together, and we've been hanging out all off season. So the chemistry is there, and you know, we all get along. So it's been good.
Is it different as more of a upperclassman veteran guy looking at it this way, having to sort of show these guys what to do?
I mean, yeah, it is kind of different, but I'm kind of used to it. So at this point, it's just like I got to do what I do, and then I bring these guys along and help them do what they do.
Now, having been here for as many seasons as you have and got all this experience under your belt, what's your favorite thing about playing here at this program in this stadium with these guys?
I just love game days. You know, it gets loud here, and you know, night games, we got halftime and a light show and all that. So I mean, it's fun. It's a great atmosphere, and then you know, I have a lot of family that comes down here and sees me play. So you know, it's been good.
Out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, you're talking about the family. There's a lot of it. You have, what, one brother, how many sisters?
I have 7 sisters.
7 sisters.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I know ages can spread things out a little bit, but you all living in the same place at once? Or?
No, not anymore. I mean, there's 4 older and 3 younger. My youngest sister just graduated high school, so I mean, I live with a sister here. She's on the cheer team, so you know, we're all spread out now, but you know, we're still connected.
Where are you in the age group?
I'm right in the middle.
You're right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Yeah.
What have you learned from them? How have they influenced you?
I mean, when times get crazy, I just got to keep my head straight and, you know, just deal with them. You know, it gets crazy, but.
What is, back on the field, what's the most important asset you think that a safety has to have?
Safety's got to be a ball hawk, and they've got to get the ball on the ground. You got to be a good tackler, especially in open field. When the run breaks through or something, you're the last line of defense, so you got to get the ball on the ground.
What is it like? You said your favorite thing is game day. What's it like coming out there with the big games and the crowd roaring and that ball's in the air and you got the crosshairs on the guy coming on a crossing route or something, and that feeling? What is that juice like?
It's definitely there's a lot of emotions running at that time, but you know, you fall back to your basic level of training, and you know, you just lock in and you got to enjoy the moment, but you also got to execute. So you know, it's fun and there's a lot of juice, but you just got to get the job done.
What's your favorite thing to do non-football related?
Golf.
Really?
Yes, I'm a new golfer, so you know, that's my thing now.
You probably got the same amount of level as I do right now. It's left, right, left, back and forth. Now we got to talk about the hair. I know we were growing it out last now, but this is looking good, man. This is solid hair right now.
Yeah, so I just wanted to have my hair long for this season, so it's flowing out the back of the helmet. So I mean, that's just what I did.
You're trying to keep up with the Noah Talas?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, we'll know which one it is. If it's a single digit and it's got hair coming out the back, you know it's going to be Mario
You know it's
Eastley.
me. Yep.
Thanks for joining us. Mario Eastley, Old Dominion veteran safety. Don't go over the middle. You see the hair coming, close your eyes.
Thank you.
Welcome back, SB Ballard Stadium, campus of Old Dominion. Beautiful full moon tonight. We got halftime highlights and stats coming up. It's a 16-3 Old Dominion lead over North Carolina Central. We'll be back with the highlights and the numbers. Stick with us here on ESPN+. Stadium, Scott Jackson, Andy Mishaw, as we look at some first half highlights, Andy.
Yeah, a little sloppy starting on both sides. Colton Joseph coughs it up for the first turnover of the game. The Eagles, well, they give it right back. It's bad, well, good snap, bad catch by the punter Bowman. He gets lit up in the end zone. And it was not a great half for either team, I think, sloppy-wise. Monarchs, however, do get something going right through the middle, and they get some space, and they take advantage of the space. As Traquan Jones put the first points on the board for the Monarchs, they got the passing game going. Gladding reels in that one in the back pylon. The two guys from Hutchinson accounting for 155 yards. This was the play right here for the Eagles, though. That is Rogers, Arthur Rogers, 14-yard carry on 2nd and 23, kept the drive alive. They go right back to him on the dump off, gets them into Monarch territory. They keep moving. The slant again for the Eagles, one of their best drives of the half, and they finish it off with the field goal by Robinson, who they probably should have let kick a few more times. They were 0 for 3 on 4th downs, but they got that They get on the board 16-3. They will get it to start the second half and have a chance to really make this interesting for the Monarchs.
So you look at the halftime numbers here. ODU with the big passing numbers, obviously, Andy, after last week's struggles at Indiana. But the penalties still coming up, hurting ODU here. I mean, 6 for 74 yards were all very significant.
The rushing yards look small for NC Central. I mean, Mosley's got 41 yards on his own, but it's minus 15 for the fumble we just saw on the snap. That goes against your rushing yardage for the team on the punt fumble, and they've gone backwards a few other times. Mosley doesn't go backwards very often, but, I mean, they've had a couple other backs. They go backwards. Third down has not been good for the Eagles. 3 of 8, and as we said, 0 for 3 on fourth down. But they got the points they needed, and they can get themselves right into the middle of this thing with a good opening drive here to start the second half.
How about this for a second down stat for you? ODU has been averaging 16 yards on second down per play. 3 separate 25-yard plus gains on second down for the Monarchs in this one today.
That's why the Monarchs are only 2 for 4 on third down. They've only had 4 of them.
They haven't had many. Here's the kick, a deep one, but Van Gates, he's going to bring it out. He's not afraid. A little stutter step. He's going to take it wide again. He's got the 20, 25. He's going to get tripped up around the 27-yard line by Jeremy Mack, but a good return once again from Rufino Van Gates. Rufino Van Gates is not afraid to take it out of the end zone, and he's very good at it.
So they're going to have good field position, and the Monarchs are going to have to. I mean, the defense has been pretty good. I mean, it seems like a lot, but 41 yards against the guy who has been averaging 144 yards per game. I mean, you're holding him below his average. They've hurt you on the little glance routes.
By the way, that kickoff was done by Mikhail Yakovlev for Old Dominion, the transfer from Avert, who is from Great Falls, Virginia, his first kickoff of the season. He's going to be rotating in. Here comes Mosley with the first carry of the second half, a good 4 to 5 yard pickup for the lead back of these North Carolina Central Eagles. He's had 100 yards in each of his first 2 games this season.
I mean, he's still close to 3.5 per carry, so, I mean, you'll take that.
Yeah, the Monarchs rush defense done a nice job containing him so far. That was just a 3-yard pickup where it's spotted, so 2nd and 7 coming up.
His average this season has been 8 yards a carry, so they're doing something right in blue.
Good news for ODU. You see out there that Jerome Carter is back in the game. He left briefly at the end of the half as the team's interception of the game. Here comes Mosley again. Tries the left side, got a hole. Pushing forward, going to be cut up shy of the first down marker by about a yard. So a 3rd and 1 coming up.
And now there is a patient run right there. That was skating and waiting for those blockers to get set and then reading it and finding the hole.
Just mentioned Carter's back in the game. He makes the tackle and just shy of the yard marker. So 3rd and 1. Fans trying to get behind this defense here at SB Ballard Stadium. You see ODU almost got everybody in the box. Outside wide and first down and a little bit more. Rogers spins off a man into Old Dominion territory. He'll be taken down at the 49-yard line of Old Dominion.
And oddly, we mentioned it a few times in that first half. I think that's the first time that Mosley has been in on a short yardage situation where it's been 3rd down and 1 or 2. It's been Rogers most of the time. That time it was Mosley. They go to the old school toss sweep.
So Mosley gets the first down and a little bit more on the spin move there as he's taken down after the first. And now Rogers comes in 1st and 10 as Mosley gets a breather. It is, of course, a hot, humid night. You know, these players got to keep hydrated. Back to pass. Walker Harris throws deep towards it. Intercepted, almost dropped there by Mack. Almost had a pick there. It's going towards his tight end here on the near side sideline, Kyle Morgan, but
yeah, that's getting greedy.
Kind of hung it up there, didn't he?
He had protection. The protection was good. Old Dominion back in coverage. Problem there is he had the dump off. He had the underneath route to Rogers, but he got a little bit greedy and tried to force it in there. And then the underneath defender drops off and gets a hand on that, and he's lucky he still has possession of the ball here is Harris.
So Rogers stays in the game as the back next to Harris. 2nd down and 10 from the 49-yard line of Old Dominions for the Eagles. First possession of the second half, and Rogers is going to get dropped in the backfield by the Monarchs. Trinidad comes flying through there among the host of ODU players that broke through. Also, Ricardo Williams.
Rogers has got to be thinking, look, those holes are not that big when I'm out here. When Mosley's out there, they're huge, and he's walking through. I'm out here, there's no holes.
So 3rd and 12 after a loss of 2 on that play.
You got to be careful here. They're going to be hunting. Monarchs are going to be sending pressure, and you got to be careful.
Harris back to pass. Pressure up the middle, thrown, dropped, incomplete. The intended receiver just could not reel that one in. Put him on his hands, too. Looked like a pretty good pass, but I don't think he would have had the first down either way. So that was Joshua Crabtree for the first time tonight, the intended receiver. So punting time for North Carolina Central, unable to take advantage of this first drive coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, Monarchs bringing the heat, and he had to get rid of it. And again, on these 3rd and longs, they're not afraid to throw short and try to get some yak yards, run after the catch. The Monarchs have been able to keep that under control. Like I said, a couple of times, Peterson's had it, but been stopped a yard short.
Gliding back. He's going to let the punt drop at the 15. He backs off of it. It's going to take a good bounce for the Eagles. And they're going to down it. ODU's going to start backed up after a really good punt for Bowman, who took that big hit earlier for the safety, but pins ODU back at their own 7-yard line. Well, they'll start this series with 11:54 to go in the 3rd quarter and a 16-3 lead. You're watching Sunbelt Football here on ESPN+.
Kicks it pretty good when he...
SB Ballard Stadium, Old Dominion with a 16-3 lead. Early part of the 3rd quarter, we'll see the ODU offense for the first time. There's Colton Joseph and company coming out. The Hudson Blue in full effect tonight. Blue on blue, and the retro logo with the Hudson Blue helmet.
The running lion, more of a marching lion, but you can call it retro, but I mean, they
It's
never
updated,
put that.
right?
They never put that on a helmet. They didn't have helmets when
true.
they used that logo.
They didn't have football back in those days. Trust me, I was here. Colton Joseph out of the shotgun. The back is Traquan Jones, who has the big touchdown run of 39 yards, and he's getting started again. Got on his feet. He's got the 20, 30. Oh, he could go. He's got the 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, and another Traquan Jones touchdown for the Monarchs.
It's the same inside zone, the same thing he did before from 29. This one's a lot further out. It is a house call for 20.
Big time touchdown run for Traquan Jones, who's getting some work here tonight. The transfer from Georgia Military College just last season. And look at the celebration on the field from the Monarchs as they are now on top 22-3.
Again, those safeties are out wide. This is what the formation tries to do to you. That's the Kevin Decker's offense that he brought over from Fordham. Tennessee used it for a little bit, but that's what they try to do. They get you spread out so there's no help in the middle. And you get through that first initial push, and then he made a couple of guys miss, and that was it.
Riley Callahan drills the extra point, so it's a 23-3 Old Dominion lead, and that was what you call quick strike offense. So with 11:42 to go in the third quarter, here's another look at the house call from Traquan Jones, his second of the night. It has been his night in ODU so far. Here, you're watching college football on ESPN+.
93 Hudson Blue yards.
Carolina Central sideline. Trey Oliver and his team trying to bounce back here, down 23-3, 11:42 to go after the record-setting touchdown run, a school record from Traquan Jones of 93 yards, just bettering Quinn Hinnacle's record from a year ago against Arkansas State by a yard. Here's a stat for you. Traquan Jones, Andy, 3 carries, 146 yards, so 2 touchdowns, averaging 48.7 per carry tonight.
You'll take that average, 48 yards a touch. We'll take that.
So Traquan Jones having himself a night. Here comes the kickoff, and it's a high short one coming up under it. This will keep away from Bang. It's bobbled and covered up quickly. Good job by Old Dominion there with a little bit of a dirty kickoff. 30.
Wind has picked up a little bit here. We noticed stuff blowing around in the booth. I think the second half, wind is pushing, I think, more right or left to right. May have affected that kickoff.
That's Mikhail Yakovlev again, his second kickoff of the night. That one was a much different one. He kicked a deep one before. They probably sick of seeing Van Gates take it out of the end zone. So good strategy, and all Lassane could do, Rodney Lassane, was following that thing. So 1st and 10 from the 15 is where the Eagles will start this drive. Trailing now 23-3 with 11:41 to go in this third quarter of play. Mosley is in the backfield, and it's a play action of Mosley thrown out quick to the tight end, tackled and taken down big time, hit by Steiger.
Yeah, he read that. I mean, that's one that looked like he may have seen on film one too many times. He was downhill. As soon as he saw that tight end leak out there, it didn't take much. Bracey, couple of steps outside the hash, and Steiger was targeting that thing from like an F-16.
Yeah, I mean, Steiger's 195. Bracey, we mentioned earlier, he goes 6'4", 265, and he perfect form tackle there from Nikendre Steiger, who had a big play in the end zone on that 4th down last week against Indiana. jumping that route and almost making a play, but cleaned up by the Monarchs. They are really sensing it out here now.
Yeah, they're feeling it. They're jumping on things. Tell you what, you got to be careful now. If you're Trey Oliver, your team has just been punched in the face with that run. You got to think that you just got to get them settled down and get something on this possession. You don't want to get too uptight and do something crazy. They get the turnover.
Third down, Walker's rolling. He's under pressure. Just has to throw it up towards the Old Dominion sideline. He was feeling the heat, and Jaleel Colbreth among those that hurried the quarterback there, and it's going to be kicking time quickly for North Carolina Central.
He's celebrating. I think he just caught that on the sidelines. You're right. Colbreth was the guy that was one of several that were putting the pressure on Harris, who just trying to get that thing out of there.
Yeah, quick 3 and out was not what you wanted.
Yeah, but for the Monarchs, that's exactly what they wanted. They got the big play to start their first possession of the second half, and then they kept the pressure on here, getting aggressively running downhill, making tackles, and coming after the quarterback.
Oh, that punt, a lot of pressure, but Bowman gets it away. Gladding is going to let it drop. Oh, boy, that's going to take a big roll for the Eagles, and a big break there as Gladding just last minute decided not to catch it, and it probably got about 18 yards. At least for the Eagles. So Old Dominion will start to drive 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Bowman a couple of good kicks his last two after eating one not eating a block, but dropping the snap and getting plastered in the first half. Last 2 kicks have been pretty good. That one he almost ate, got rid of it, and it turns into a really good kick.
So
64 on that kick.
Yeah, that was a lot of that was a bounce, right? I mean, that was a really good kick.
Getting it off at all was impressive, but yeah.
So this drive for the Monarchs starts at their own 21-yard line, and the running back is Travian Hargrove. Joseph scrambling. He's going to run now. He's got the 30. He's going to try to get to the sideline. 35. He's going to run out of bounds at 39. He's taking that late, and the Old Dominion bench is going crazy. They're waiting for a flag, and they get one.
That's going to come down more flags. That's Urang who hit him. And then if you got to be careful there, you don't want to give it back to him by doing something crazy on the sidelines.
Yeah, Barlev, I think, came over to protect this quarterback, but see if it's just the late hit they're calling, or is it going to be anything else?
All of the play is a first down. After the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds. Defense, number 54. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Max Yoren. That was going to be a jump pass. They were trying to get that to the tight end to leak it out, but it was covered, and then Joseph just decided, well, the hole's here. I'm going to take off with it.
You're a good 5 yards out of bounds. You're almost off the white at that point, and that's going to get a flag every single time. So
yeah, that's a no-brainer flag
right
one
there. After a good scramble from Joseph, and you tack under the 15. So Old Dominion now in North Carolina Central Territory at the 43-yard line. That was 1st and 10 with 10:34 to go in this third quarter.
That was going to be Ketravian Hargrove, the running back, who was going to slip through there, do the old Tebow jump pass. But the Eagles, to their credit, took it away. But by that point, Joseph had stepped up, and there's nobody in front of him. I'll just keep running.
Joseph gives it no play action. Going to throw over the middle there. Oh, off the fingertips of Butler. Oh, he was wide open down the seam.
He's still running if he makes that catch.
Got our Old Dominion lineman on the ground. That's not a good sign.
Officials timeout for injury to the offense.
We get a timeout on the field. We'll take one as well with the injury. 10:13 to go in this third quarter. 23-3. You're watching Sunbelt Football here on ESPN+. Inside SB Ballard Stadium, Old Dominion 23-3 on top of North Carolina Central. While we were away, Old Dominion's left tackle, Zach Barlev, who is a preseason All-Sun Belt performer, was carted off the field. That is certainly not something the Monarchs want to see here tonight. Griffin Dugan now will come in at left tackle, the transfer from Virginia Tech.
Yeah, that is bad news for Old Dominion fans.
So ODU has had some success here to start the second half. A big 93-yard touchdown run from Traquan Jones, one of his 2 on the night. And now pick up this drive at their 43-yard line of North Carolina Central after the injury timeout. Play action, Joseph. Now he's going to run for it. He's going to dive forward, going to be close to about the 37-yard line. So about a pickup of 5, maybe 6 on 1st and 10.
Yeah, like he was trying to go on the backside route to T.J. Lott, I think was the target, because they put Gladding in motion to the right, and then they're trying to sneak him on a backside slant. They took it away. As he steps up, you might as well just get what you can get down safely. Make it 3rd and manageable here.
Joseph keeping it, and he gets tackled, but he has a first down after he gets across to the 30-yard line. So the chains move for the Monarchs as Colton Joseph suddenly called his own number.
Yeah, Isaiah Lawson may have just saved a touchdown. The read option, Hargrove with the ghosting out of the fake to the right side. But 41, Lawson, he may have just saved a touchdown.
So Hargrove remains the lone back to the left of Joseph. As the drive continues, 1st and 10 from the Eagles 30. 9 minutes to go, clock moving here in this 3rd quarter of play. This time he gives it. Hargrove, strong run on 1st and 10, picks up 7.
That's just the kind of drive the Monarchs wanted to have here. Just get that running game going, eat some of this clock, grind them out a little bit. They, of course, did not want to lose their left tackle, who was going to be a major part of this offense. So hopefully he'll be all right, but they carted him off pretty quickly.
Yeah, you hate to see that. It's anytime the card comes out, just hope for the best. This time, kind of a broken play. Joseph keeps it. He spins around, gets the first down, though. So a 3.5, 4-yard pickup for Joseph. Kind of looked like a little confusion between him and the back, and now they're talking it over, but worked out for Old Dominion. 1st and 10. Inside the 20-yard line of North Carolina Central's.
10 carries for Joseph. He's up over 50 yards now.
Play action, Joseph thrown over the middle, slant caught by Gladding.
Good catch.
Big time catch from the Old Dominion top leading receiver, Abdul-Rahim Gladding.
And it's the RPO game again. The line is run blocking, so he's making that decision probably pre-snap, and it's a simple slant route, little glance route over the middle, and it's based on where that safety is. If he's not in a position to help, it's just inside position for Gladding. He's done it several times tonight.
Joseph keeps it rolling right.
Oh, wide
He's
open.
going to dump it wide open. Touchdown, an easy 6 for Ja'Cory Thomas. And Colton Joseph connects for his 2nd touchdown pass of the night.
That's based on the run game that has been so efficient between the tackles. They sell out after that, and Joseph rolls out. We'll take another look at it, but I think Ja'Cory Thomas, he's faking like he's blocking, a little delay release, and then he leaks out on the right side. Yeah, he's kind of hanging like he's sort of blocking, and then he just sort of rolls out with Joseph.
So 1st career touchdown for Ja'Cory Thomas, the Hutchinson Community College transfer. As we mentioned earlier, part of that JUCO national title team last year, along with teammate Trey Brown, who also transferred over with him in that receiving room.
I think the Hutchinson guys have had a pretty good night.
They sure have, and the extra point is through from Riley Callahan, makes it 30-3 Old Dominion as they've kind of blown things open here in this 3rd quarter with 14 unanswered points.
Brown, 6 catches, 86 yards. Or Thomas, 6 for 86, and Brown, 4 for 74.
So the week after Colton Joseph was getting all the headlines for his running, today 16 of 19, 207 yards in those 2 touchdown passes, and does have 48 yards rushing as well. So Colton's doing it a little of both today.
You ask him, all he's going to talk about is a fumble in the first quarter.
And, you know, I mean, they needed to get this passing game going. As we talked about, there's a lot of question marks coming into the season because so many new faces. But tonight, this group has really come out here and played well together.
Yeah, all the emphasis there, all the attention going right between the tackles. And by the time they saw Thomas leaking out into the flat, it was too late.
Mikhail Yakovlev, once again, his 3rd kickoff of the night. Last time he kicked it short, and it was a big problem for Central. This time he'll hit the 5. Van Gates takes it. He's got the 10, he's got the 15, and across the 20 where he is dropped. He still was trying to get more yardage. He's a tough returner, but they're going to down him at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, he almost got out of that last one. He had a foot, and he was still trying to fight.
He's an active returner. And North Carolina Central needs to sustain a drive here. They have come out of this locker room at halftime and had a little bit of momentum after kicking that field goal before the end of half, but things have not gone their way since then.
Yeah, they got a couple of first downs on that first possession, but the defense stepped up and stopped them, and they got a pretty good kick. I mean, a really good punt that backed the Monarchs way up, and then the gut punch just straight through the middle of the Straquan Jones drag races, 93, and that really hurt them. They hadn't really recovered yet from that.
Chris Mosley, the back. Walker Harris back to pass. Lefty throws it here near side, skips it, incomplete, as he was trying to get it to Darrell Taylor. Didn't have a chance. This is not what North Carolina Central wants to do, being a drop-back game. We know they're like to be a balanced offense, but when you're down, you know, by 27, you kind of have to be a little bit more about pushing the ball down the field.
Their passing game starts with Mosley, and then once he gets that run game established, the defense has to react to him, and that opens things up in the pass game. But when it's 30-3, you kind of taking Mosley off the table.
Play action. Oh, thrown behind and incomplete, trying to get to Van Gates. So now suddenly it's a 3rd and 10, just like that, and barely any time ticked off the clock.
That's a bit of the Monarchs' own medicine. RPO slant right there. Better throw, and Van Gates has got enough speed. You don't know. I mean, he could run for a long ways, but that went a little bit behind him.
It was off the mark, and now it's a big 3rd and 10. Fans trying to get back into it here as well. So Walker Harris with Mosley to his left. Now receiver coming in motion. Harris under pressure, has to just throw it up. He's got a receiver out there, but it's picked off by the Monarchs. Coming the other way for ODU. It's Crutchfield, and it is a big-time play from Brandon Crutchfield, who picks it off. And, wow, Trey Oliver played college football at North Carolina Central, of course, his alma mater, with Brandon Crutchfield's father. So the son of Trey Oliver's teammate picks him off his team and brings it back deep into North Carolina Central territory, where Old Dominion will start with a 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
And that was there. It's a crossing route to the tight end. He puts that out in front of him. I mean, he had space.
But Brandon was hoping to make a house call, but good tackle by Van Gates. Seems to be everywhere. So ODU looking to add to this 30-3 lead with 6:42 to go in this 3rd quarter. It has just been a avalanche all of a sudden on North Carolina Central since they left the locker room.
He's trying to fit that to Kyle Morgan, who was open, but he had a little bit of pressure, had to throw it. It wasn't the best platforming. His feet weren't entirely set, and he just had it too much air and floated on him, and it hung in the air, and Crutchfield, feasting on that one, saw it coming.
Markai James in the backfield with Colton Joseph. Joseph back to pass, throws over the middle, caught and dropped quickly was the tight end. For the first time tonight, we're seeing Dawson Johnson, the transfer from Florida.
Yeah, they got a couple of tight ends. They're trying to work in there. Again, they lost a good one in Pat Conroy. Butler is trying to work back. He missed all of last season with an injury. So Dawson Johnson, and then they got another one in Peterson that they'd like to work him in some. Carl Peterson.
From Estonia, right?
Yeah. And he had a pretty good camp.
Joseph keeps it, now throws it out here to the near side, caught and breaking the tackle, and almost getting to the end zone was Lott, but he gets tripped up literally at the 2-yard line. But a first and goal situation for the Monarchs as TJ Lott was so close to getting to the end zone.
Well, that's the modern version of your triple option right there. You hand it off, or the quarterback can keep it himself, or the wide receiver there becomes the pitch man. And you're right, he was a shoelace away from getting his first touchdown.
Joseph with James to his left. Monarchs knocking on the door again in the red zone. And Colton Joseph's going to keep it. Can he get there? Yes, he does. Colton Joseph, another Monarch touchdown, and Joseph's first touchdown run of the night makes it 36-3 with 5:19 to go here in the third.
Now, ball set up on the left hash. That's a lot of space, a lot of yardage to the right. And Joseph's got so much speed. He sees you come down a little bit on that end. He's keeping it, and it's going to be, almost a walk-in. He's deceptively fast. That's what Trey Oliver said. You don't think he's as fast as he is, but when he's got that much space out there laterally, he's looking at that pylon. You got 30 yards to that side and one guy that's guarding that whole amount of space. He's going to get that every time.
3 plays, 18 yards after the Crutchfield interception. Just took 1 minute and 23 seconds. Colton Joseph's third touchdown run of the season. And the extra point is good from Riley Callahan, making it a 37-3 Old Dominion lead with 5:19 to go in this third quarter. So, yeah, Trey Oliver is funny. He said, well, who does he remind you of? He goes, well, last week he reminded me of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Watching him run all over Indiana that way. And he goes, that's who he looked like, was Lamar Jackson. He was going everywhere. 14 career rushing touchdowns, by the way, for Colton Joseph. Moves him up to 17th all-time in his ODU history. He's going to have a few more, I would imagine, this season for Old Dominion as well.
He's a redshirt freshman. He's been here a while, it feels like it, but he's really only a redshirt freshman.
Well, really started playing, went into the second month last year. Had the one start against Virginia Tech, which was short-lived. Then obviously came into that Bowling Green game.
Yeah, because they started with Grant Wilson,
Yep.
And then he got injured, and then they put Joseph in, and I'm still kind of not sure why they pulled him in that Virginia Tech game, but they did.
Yakovlev with the kickoff. Here comes Van Gates cutting through the middle. He's got a wiggle about him. He gets past the 30. They're going to start at the 32-yard line. So,
starting to wonder if they're not doing that on purpose. That's 3 straight kickoffs that have landed very close to the same spot in the middle of the hashes and put a lot of air under it.
Yeah, Mikhail Yakovlev, the new kickoff man tonight, he's taking care of 4 of them now since this game started. And they had come in different varieties. In the beginning, it was just a big boot, and now it's been short ones these last few. They've had a lot of opportunity to kick off, obviously, with a 37-3 lead. 5:14 to go. We've got a new quarterback as well for North Carolina Central. That's going to be Josh Jones, the redshirt sophomore from Fayetteville, North Carolina, in there. And quickly he gives it to Mosley. He's going backwards. ODU's just, this defense is just feeding on the run game.
Yeah, this O-line is, they're not small, a little bit small on the tackles, but in the middle, their center's 300. Left guard, A.C. McMore, he's 305.
And Keyshawn Thomas, who just checked in for ODU with the tackle in the backfield.
But they've been getting beat up here, especially in the second half. There hadn't been a whole lot of holes, and when they know they got to throw it, they're sending the dogs after them.
Again, run play, quarterback keeper going left side, and that's going to be Forrest, who is getting some work here. The freshman for Old Dominion comes up. Jackson Forrest with the tackle straight up on Josh Jones, bringing up a 3rd down and 7.
That's a pretty good tackle, I know that. That was a pretty good form. That's the helmet right to the chest.
Well, we were talking about it earlier. Old Dominion came into the game down a couple linebackers, lost a linebacker with Mario Thompson going out, so they're really, depth is being stretched here. So Josh Jones, 3rd and 7 with a new quarterback, with Arthur Rogers Jr. to his right. Jones under pressure, gets cut down. What a tackle by Jeremy Mack. Comes flying through there and cuts Jones down to welcome him to the game.
Yeah, untouched. Through the A-gap, and nobody touched him. Here he comes. Watch, Ford's going to just fly through there. It's just a blur and no chance at all for Jones.
He's had a few of those tonight. I mean, coming towards the line of scrimmage, Jeremy Mack, like you said, you
sack.
can't see him.
He had a sack against Indiana last week. He almost had 2.
Yeah, second straight game with a sack for Jeremy Mack of the Monarchs. And one of the captains, and that was blocked.
It was tipped, yeah.
And that is going to be down. ODU's going to have excellent field position at North Carolina Central's 36-yard line. Wow, Bowman's had an eventful night, hasn't he?
But there's no flag because somebody made contact, got a piece of the ball, so no flag on that. It's just going to be a blocked punt.
First down.
Brandon Bowman gets a punt blocked, was tackled in the end zone on a muff snap earlier. Here it is. Another look at it.
See who gets it.
Well, there's a lot of guys in there. And it looked like Steiger got a piece of it.
Steiger was there.
Kendra Steiger for Old Dominion looked to be in there. And now Colton Joseph in this offense back to work on the 36-yard line of the Eagles.
I think another couple of points here, and maybe Quinn Hennicle time.
Traquan Jones, the back. And Johnson now the tight end in motion. Play action, Joseph steps up in the pocket. Lets it go towards the end zone. He's got a man, but it's overthrown, incomplete. But he was taking a shot there with T.J. Lott.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they would call like a little Dino route. It's an in and out, like a fake post corner. Then he goes up the seam. And it was there early, but because of the pressure, he had to pull it back down and then hang in there for a second. And by the time he got clear, he couldn't really step into the throw. There was bodies around his feet, so he just sort of launched it up there and was hoping Lott was going to outrun the defense to go get him.
And Jones, the lone back here on 2nd and 10 for the Monarchs. Under 3 minutes to go in this third quarter, ODU in command 37-3. Jones changes sides. And again, Johnson in motion. Keeper for Joseph, rolling to his left. Trying to get to the marker, and he does, out of bounds. Back 2-yard pickup. Bring up a 3rd and 8 for Old Dominion.
It's an eagle down.
Official timeout for injury.
Literally on the Old
defense.
Dominion sideline, a player, I think it was chasing
Reed.
Colton Joseph. Reed, who's an excellent all-MEAC performer.
That was that triple option again. That time he just kept it himself. Probably a lot of other quarterbacks get taken down in the backfield, but he had enough speed just to get up, to get anything, and get it back to the line of scrimmage. But yeah, Reed chasing him down from a long ways away.
You don't want Reed out. He's a preseason All-American in the FCS, and for North Carolina Central, you want to come out of this game obviously healthy. Talking to Trey Oliver, as we did this week, the coach for the Eagles, he said these are good barometer games, for his team early in the season as they get going. This is a team that played 2 games already coming into this one tonight.
Reed he's trying to get back up on his own. Yeah. But if they come out of this healthy, I think it's going to be again a neck-and-neck race between them and South Carolina State as to who's going to win the MEAC. I think it's going to be neck-and-neck between them again all year like it was last year.
Yeah, they've got a lot of talent. It's just things have kind of slipped away here in this third quarter with some turnovers. And, he was talking, too, with us about his quarterback, Walker Harris. He was saying he didn't want him to press too much, wanted to go through progressions and take what the D gave him. And I think maybe tonight he got himself in a little bit of trouble doing exactly what he didn't want him to do, which is pressing.
And once they got out of it, again, it was their run. It was the 93-yard rush that just blew the doors off of here from Traquan Jones. And that put them into a passing game where they knew they had to throw it, and the Monarchs knew they had to throw it. And that's a different kind of animal all of a sudden.
Yeah, you did a really good job so far tonight on Chris Mosley, too, which is obviously the focal point of his offense, and that has helped, get North Carolina Central in some uncomfortable down and distances. So after the injury timeout, it is a 3rd down and 8 for Old Dominion on the 35-yard line of North Carolina Central. Colton Joseph gets a snap, looking at all kinds of time, going to throw deep. Got a man turning, but it's going to be short and incomplete. He did have a receiver out there, but just missed T.J. Johnson.
Yeah, that's one that Johnson's going to want back. I mean, that throw wasn't great, but if Johnson he was a little lazy, a little rounded coming out of that break. If he makes a sharper cut, that ball's on him. He didn't get his head around. He took a second to find it. If he's quicker out of that break, he may be able to get to that pylon.
4th and 8, Monarchs going for it.
Well, you're kind of in no man's territory here because the field goal is going to be, 52? And a punt,
Joseph back to pass. Looking, going deep. He's got a man there towards the end zone, and it's caught, and it's a touchdown. And that is T.J. Lott, who was wide open. T.J. Lott, the redshirt sophomore from Florida, from Inland Grove Community College, was as wide open as you can get.
I mean, he sat back there all day. He could have ordered a pizza back there and still had time to make this throw. That's the safety who's a little bit late trying to get back over there. I don't know if it was somebody had to have blown coverage there for him to be that open by himself down the sidelines.
So that's 43 points on the board for Old Dominion. That is T.J. Lott's first career touchdown. So this passing game, which really struggled at Indiana, is clicking tonight for Old Dominion.
T.J. Lott was in Old Dominion last year, mostly on special teams.
And the field goal, or the extra point, is good from Callahan. So Riley Callahan converts. It's a 44-3 game with 2:24 to go in the third quarter of play, and it's all Monarchs.
It's a little wheel route is what it is. Out and up, kind of a wheel route. The safety kind of got picked a little bit, which is what caused him to get that wide open. But the protection, there's only like a 2-man rush. The 3-man rush, they didn't really send anybody after him. And that left him wide open. But T.J. Lott, again, he played special teams last year. Didn't have any real offensive snaps. 16 siblings. That's where you get that speed from. If you want to eat with 16 siblings, you better be fast.
I mean, that is a big family. And T.J. Lott making a big play. And, again, first career touchdown. Getting a lot of reps. Good to see this Old Dominion wide receiver core tonight step up. And, obviously, it's got to feel good for Colton Joseph to let it rip and see these guys rewarded for it.
Well, that's the thing with Joseph. Coming off of that game last week in Indiana, 3 interceptions in that game. And he was inaccurate. He missed some throws that he could have had. So this has got to feel good for him.
Kickoff. And returner sets it up. Going to be a big hole there for Mosby. He's going to get it towards the 45-yard line. So quite a return there in the end for, Darrell Taylor, who brings it back for North Carolina Central.
And
Old Dominion, that time, by the way, they had rotated in to kick off Nathaniel Eichner the first time, the left-footed kicker, number 93. ODU's got quite a few place kickers in this roster.
They really do. They had a kicking battle, and it was like 3 or 4 guys. It wasn't just 1 or 2 trying to vie for the spot, but
you got to play the long game too here. You want to kind of, you don't want your guys to wear out. So
Callahan he won the field goal kicking job, but the kickoff job apparently is still going on.
Yeah, there's still some work to be done there. So keeper, big hole.
Out.
Look out. There goes Jones. He's got the 20, got the 15. He's getting pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. So Josh Jones with a big play on his second series, the backup quarterback for North Carolina Central.
A lot of the 2s for the Monarchs on defense coming in here, and they didn't stop Jones. He didn't care.
Josh Jones with a big run there. Puts first and goal to goal now for North Carolina Central at the Old Dominion 10-yard line, or 9-yard line, excuse me. And run this time Mosley. He's going to cut down around the 6-yard line. So Jones officially, that was a 46-yard run, and they did mark him out just at the 10. But it is a goal-to-goal situation, so second and goal.
In his career, he's got 17 carries for 129 yards. He doesn't have 3 rushing touchdowns.
Here's another look at it, and even caught the cameraman off because everybody's looking at Mosley. You just assume Mosley's going to get the ball, and then there goes Jones. So Jones now second and goal. He's going to run again. Straight keeper right at the middle and just cut down shy of the end zone. And
flag came in
early.
Flags
everywhere, Old Dominion players.
So that's either some kind of encroachment or illegal formation.
the ODU
The
players
referees are just kind of looking at each other.
asking for the flag. Yeah, there's a ref talking to Trey Oliver, and then the other refs are standing on the field still.
So that's your head referee. It's the linesman who's over talking to Trey Oliver.
It's interesting.
Stephen Robinson is the referee who's standing in the screen right now, just looking to see what this conversation's going to be.
Offside. Defense
All that to
lined
say
up in the
offside
neutral
defense.
zone. Penalties decline. It's all in the play.
I guess they wanted to see
Third
who's
down.
going to
that
take the
was
penalty.
the question as to whether or not he was going to take it.
So 3rd and goal coming up from the Old Dominion.
He
to be
probably
1
wanted
yard
to
line.
know what that spot was.
Yeah.
Because it's tough, difficult decision because you get that down back, it's second
Right.
down and short, or you keep it at 3rd down, but you're on the goal line.
Josh Jones come in here and is giving them a spark, and there's an offside again, but not like they can go much further. Oh, they're saying they were baited. We'll see what the referees say. Old Dominion's defense and Ricardo Williams saying that the North Carolina Central offensive lineman got him to jump.
Somebody's being carted off. Is that Reed getting carted off? It is.
False start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard
False
penalty.
start on
3rd down.
Williams.
So that is a blow with Malcolm Reed being carted off the sidelines for NC Central.
Yeah, he's again, preseason all FCS All-American and was all MEAC last year. You hate to lose players, especially before you get into the conference season.
So both sides have had guys out on the cart, and they're both really important
Yeah,
guys.
Zach Barlett for Old Dominion, their starting left tackle. So now a 3rd down and goal to goal at the Old Dominion 6. Jones pitches it out to Mosley. Mosley's going to try the left side. Got a lot of blue jerseys over there. He gets cut down, and there's another flag late on the play as well. But the Old Dominion defense was all over that play, and the first one in there was Derek Goodman. Derek Goodman, who came in there, number 24 for the Monarchs, as they've got a lot of depth players out there.
Holding.
The sophomore.
Offense, number 83.
And another
Penalties
hold.
decline. It's all in play. 4th down.
Yeah, they ran that same toss sweep a little earlier, and it worked for them. They picked up a good chunk of yardage on it. This time, look at the penetration. Look at all those blue shirts flying through.
Goodman knocked him down. But you're right, the
Steiger-
penetration made him go sideways.
Steiger was the first one through, and that forced them way further outside than he wanted to be.
So another field goal attempt. Caleb Robinson on for the field goal. He drilled one earlier from 39 yards out. This one from 27, and the kick is up, and it is true right through the
He's got a
uprights.
leg.
He really does. It's kicking him high and deep. So with 13 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, 44-6, ODU on top. And so we're getting close here to the start of the 4th quarter. I'll be interested to see if Ricky Ronnie chooses to
I would expect to see Quinn Hennicle come
get
out.
Quinn Hennicle some reps here. Yeah, and some of this. We've seen a lot of depth players, obviously, on the defense coming in, and the offense was working in some backup tight ends last series and receivers.
Might see Trey Oliver starting to get some of his twos in there as well, because you said you've already lost one important piece. They got a lot of season ahead of them.
Now, as you said, I mean, again, they're picked 2nd in the MEAC in the preseason, a team that's definitely a contender in their conference with South Carolina State.
Yeah,
being
they
the
lost
mark
that
team.
game 24-21.
Yeah.
And that essentially was a de facto championship game for the MEAC.
So again, Trey Oliver from Yorktown, Virginia, played at Tabb High School, played at North Carolina Central, was a really good DB and punter, which is interesting. It's a combination. All-conference performer there.
Yeah, so
He told us today, by the way, I asked him earlier in the week, I said, you're going to be getting a lot of tickets from people. He goes, look, I'm not ticket master. I'm going to take care of my immediate family, but everybody else is going to be on their own. And
it's
he
not
likes
the first time they've been to Norfolk.
No,
though. I mean,
they play
the
obviously
Spartans,
Norfolk State all the
Norfolk
time.
State down the street here, but
He likes these games, though. Like you said, he's a gas tank recruiter saying,
Yeah.
hey, you can get a full tank of gas on to find you, because there's talent, obviously, near Durham and not too far, very drivable from Durham, where you can find talent, especially in this market here. So here's the kickoff, and back to receive for the Monarchs, and they're going to let it go over their head was James, and he's going to watch it bounce out for the touchback. So ODU will start 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. I'm trying to get a look at the ODU huddle as everybody's out on the field now, so it does look like Kevin Decker's got everybody out there at this juncture. Who will break the huddle at quarterback will be interesting.
Yeah, but with Trey Oliver, defensive back and punter. So, I mean, Brandon Bowman.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, kicking team, number 44, 15-yard penalty, first down.
You don't like to see that if you're Trey Oliver. I mean, why make it easier on a team that's already up 44-6?
So that makes, plays for Brandon Bowman that much more pressure because you don't have many head coaches that were punters. So most of the time the punter is like, well, the coach doesn't really know what's going on out there. It's hard for him to know whether I missed that or not. But this one knows.
Yeah, Quinn Hennicle is in the game. Of course, started the last game of the season for Old Dominion against Arkansas State at a 93-yard touchdown run in that game. So the Old Dominion backup quarterback getting some work here as we're just at 13 seconds left in this third quarter play. Marki James, the back. Hennicle's going to give it to James. James being patient, trying to push that hole. Gets a couple yards on 1st and 10 up across the 42-yard line. And that should be the last play of the quarter. So we head to the fourth quarter, and it has been all Old Dominion after a big third quarter play that blew open a 16-3 game and made it a 28-3 advantage in the third, and now up 44-6 as we head to the fourth quarter. Stick with us. We got one more quarter to go here from Norfolk. It is Old Dominion and North Carolina Central. You're watching Sunbelt football here on ESPN+. Welcome back inside SB Ballard Stadium. Scott Jackson, Andy Bashaw, as we get ready for the start of the fourth quarter. Look at that, Andy. It was a 16-3 halftime lead. Now it's 44-6 Old Dominion, thanks to a 28-3 third quarter. And Quinn Hennicle, the backup quarterback in the game for the Monarchs.
Yeah, floodgates open there in the third quarter. I mean, it was borderline iffy here for both of these teams. Eagles were in a position to make it really interesting.
James straight ahead, pushes through the hole, gets about 4 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd and 5. So good run from Markai James there. Quinn Hinnekle, before the night started, had the record for Old Dominion's longest touchdown run in school history of 92 yards. However, tonight he saw that broken while he was standing on the sidelines by Traquan Jones, who went for 93 yards in a touchdown. Really was the gut punch of this game, I think, for Trey Oliver's North Carolina Central team.
I think that Xavier Fields.
And you hate to see players going down late in games like this. And yeah, Xavier Fields, one of their depth guys, is on the ground right now with an injury. So we'll take a timeout while they attend to the injured player. 44-6 Old Dominion. You're watching college football here on ESPN+. Injury timeout. Scott Jackson, Andy Bashaw with you. 14:44 to go here in the game. Fourth quarter, we are looking at an ODU offense that has sprinkled in some depth guys, including backup quarterback Quinn Hinnekle, who made one start last year, and it was a big one against Arkansas State.
And Xavier Fields helped off, putting a lot of weight on one foot, not much weight on the other.
Yeah, that's certainly not what you want to see if you're Trey Oliver. It's tough enough, the scoreboard, then you start losing people. Hinnekle back to pass, throws it underneath to James. James turns and gets stacked up before he can get to the first down marker. So bring up 4th and 3. ODU's going to send on the punting unit. Ian Brandt will come out and punt.
Brandt would like to get another good one here.
Makai Wall back to receive for North Carolina Central. North Carolina Central had a pretty good drive last time they had the football with backup quarterback Josh Jones with a big 43-yard run.
Longest punt today for him is 37.
Brandt high, end over end. It's going to be Wall taking a fair catch at the 14-yard line, so that's where North Carolina Central will start their next series.
That's a little better. That's closer to 40. But again, he's coming off of, he averaged 50 and a half last week.
Something about the air in Indiana for him. I don't know.
But hey, that's 2 inside the 15, I think, for him. He'll take a.
So what Josh Jones does, we haven't seen him throw the football yet, but he has been an effective runner for North Carolina Central in this football game. Jones with a 46-yard run, 4 carries, 49 yards. So He's got Mosley in the backfield with him, Chris Mosley.
Wonder how much longer they're going to keep Mosley in here.
Mosley going to try the left side. Sets up the block. Gets up across the 15 to the 17-yard line. It's about a 3-yard pickup on first down. ODU has done a very good job on Chris Mosley today, no matter who's been in the game. And now, obviously, they got a lot of depth pieces out there.
So Malik Reed, or Malcolm Reed, was in the x-ray room. They put him back on the cart, and he's driven back to the NC Central sideline now.
Arthur Rogers now the running back in there with Jones. Jones is going to go straight ahead, and he's not going to get very far. He'll get to the 20-yard line, maybe. That's where they'll spot him, and that's going to bring him a 3rd and 4.
Miscommunication there. He was running a fake, and there was nobody to fake the handoff to.
And he just kind of made the best out of nothing there to get the few yards to make it 3rd and manageable. It's a 3rd and 4. Getting some ODU players in there that have not been on the field this year. Mod Foster, redshirt freshman, one of the defensive linemen in from the Monarchs right now. Back to pass Jones. Looking. Ball is underthrown, incomplete. And Jackson Forrest in the coverage. They're trying to go to Crabtree.
That's the second drop that he's had tonight. I mean, that was not going to be an easy catch, but it's one that he probably should have brought in. I'm sure if you ask him, he would say he should have brought it in, but that's 2 that he's had and could not reel in.
So Brandon Bowman's had an interesting night. He is the punter that's earlier tonight in the same end, bobbled a punt that ended up being a safety. He had another punt that was a couple of huge punts after that, and then had a punt partially blocked in the 3rd quarter as well. So Bowman under a little duress again, but he gets away a good one. Gladding back, takes it to the 31. He's going to return this one. They go to the far side of the field. Can he get the corner? He's got the 35-40. Cuts upfield, across the 50, and taken down at the 47-yard line. Excellent return by Naheem Abdul-Rahim Gladding for the Old Dominion Monarchs. He's had a good night. We'll take a timeout as Old Dominion will start in Eagles territory with Quinn Hannicle in the game with 12:06 to go and Old Dominion in control here. You're watching Sunbelt football here on ESPN+. Back inside SB Ballard Stadium on the campus of Old Dominion, it's been all Monarchs after a big 3rd quarter where they outscored North Carolina Central 28-3. And they lead it 44-6. 12:06 to go. Here in this one is Quinn Hannicle, the backup quarterback for the Monarchs in the game, and he will start on the North Carolina Central side of the field at the 47-yard line with the 1st and 10.
A 49-yard kick there by Bowman, but 20-yard return, 22-yard return for Gladding.
So running back in the game is the man of the hour tonight. Traquan Jones, 2 big touchdowns, including a school record 93-yarder. Hinnacl going to go deep. He's got Titus Myers out there, and he overshoots him, incomplete. But he was going for all of it there on 1st and 10.
They might, probably thinking, well, why are they just throwing deep? Why are they doing this? Why don't they just run the clock? But I think it's probably another RPO, and he's just going through his keys. He's making the read, and if there's no safety there, and he's got man coverage, the book says that's where you should go. So,
yeah, you got to have everybody ready, and you got to take your reps and take them seriously when you get them.
And then there's that.
Keep it this time. Hinnacl rolling right after he pulls it, and then throws it and quickly batted away. So he tried to fit one in there.
Well, he had the tight end. Again, that was the triple option kind of thing. But he had Dawson Johnson by himself between the hashes. But he was already starting to run out to the right by that point.
Yeah, Sidney and Banasaur was the intended receiver. So 2 plays, 2 incompletions for Old Dominion with 11:51 to go here in the 4th quarter. Johnson kind of in a fullback position with Jones in the backfield with Hinnacl. Hinnacl again looking to pass. Dumps it off this time to Johnson. Johnson's going to get hit and knocked backwards. I think he's going to get about 8 yards, so he'll be shy. So it's a 4th and 2 at the 39-yard line coming up of the Eagles. I think the Old Dominion offense will probably stay on the field.
Again, they're in no man's land here. You're looking at a 56-yard field goal or so, but a punt, you got a very small space to land in. Just eat more clock here if you can get a 1st down.
Hinnacl looking over the sideline for the call. Now Johnson comes in motion, sets up like that fullback again. Low snap, play action. Hinnacl standing tall. He's going to throw deep. He's got a receiver down there, incomplete. We're going to be a PI there. He drew the PI. It was definitely a lot of contact as Zay Prince was the intended receiver. The freshman drew the contact, and ODU will continue the drive.
Automatic 1st down.
Again, he's just reading what's out there. They're going man up. There's no safety there. There's nobody helping him. So it's a man-to-man matchup. He's just going to throw it up and let his guy make a play.
Zay Prince, freshman from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, from St. Francis Academy in Baltimore. You see it here, the underthrown ball, but clear contact. The DB runs right through him. It's an easy call for the refs.
There's not a lot of safety help back there. It almost looks like it's borderline cover 0 here.
Yeah, Eric Adams just ran through him. So 1st and 10 Monarchs at the 29-yard line of the Eagles. Hinnacl again, going to throw it. Far side of the field, caught by Banasaur. So a pickup of about 9 yards. Going to be just shy of, no, they're going to say 10 yards, 1st down. So a good throw from Hinnacl. That ball went a long way to Sidney and Banasaur as he threw it to the far side of the field.
He was the guy that, transfer from Tulane, 6'5", 216-pound receiver. They want to get this guy as much work as they possibly can. They need to get him.
Hinnacl gives it to Jones. Traquan Jones looking at his 3rd touchdown, and he gets it. Traquan Jones, touchdown run at number 3 on the night for the Monarchs. As the big 2nd half continues, they've hit the 50 mark.
Now you throw it 4 times in a row. The defense starts to back out. The safeties go back to help. And suddenly there's nobody in the box. And Jones, sure, okay, why not? I'll take it.
14-yard touchdown for Traquan Jones. A 5-play, 47-yard drive for the Monarchs. Took just 1 minute and 4 seconds. And ODU is putting up some big rushing numbers here tonight, most of which have come from Traquan Jones. 240 on the ground to be exact. Extra point coming up. Callahan, and he's going to split the upright. So 51-6 with 10:22 to go. And ODU really blown what was a tight football game if you're just joining us at half. I mean, it was 16-3, and then a 28-point second quarter for Old Dominion. They outscored Central 28-3, and now put up 7 here in the fourth quarter.
I still say the difference in this thing was two things. One, that the Eagles got the ball to start the second half, and they had just put points on the board and had closed the gap a little bit, and were getting it back-to-back possessions. The ODU defense came out, gave up 1 or 2 first downs, but stopped them. And then they got a good punt that put Old Dominion deep in their own territory. And then the big one, I mean, Traquan Jones right up the middle, 93 yards for the touchdown. And that touchdown, not only did it was a gut punch to them, but it put the score in a position where it turned into more of a passing game, which is not really what the Eagles want to be in. They want to be in a run-first balance game with Mosley, and it took them out of that. They had to change the game plan. They had to change what they're best at, and it went downhill from there.
Eichner kicking off again, left footer, deep. Van Gates is going to circle under it at the 10. At the 25, 30. Make that Peterson, excuse me, it's Chance Peterson. Gets it out to the 35-yard line. So Peterson with his first return of the night. It was a pretty good one. So good field position for backup quarterback Josh Jones and this Eagles offense. They just probably want to get something positive going at this point.
Hey, it's something to build on. I mean, these guys have probably got their 2s and 3s out there as well. They want to put something down on tape. They want to move up the depth chart, so they're going to be playing as hard as they can.
This is the first time Old Dominion's hit 50 in a game since scoring 56 against Charlotte back in the 2021 season. So Jones out of the shotgun, gives it to Rogers going right side, and he gets stood up there. Not much running room, maybe got 2 yards, and he gets thrown down.
Still kind of
He's still trying to fight for it, though, but they're going to give him his forward progress at the 37-yard line. You got to love the kid's fight. I mean, he's not giving up.
He's the bigger of the 2 backs. He's not the shifty. He's not the fancy power drill. He's the sledgehammer, that's for sure.
Next week, North Carolina Central will be back home playing Fayetteville State. A little conference action. Of course, Old Dominion goes on the road. Night game in Blacksburg against the Hokies. We're playing tonight as well against Vanderbilt. Jones keeps it, go right side. Got some running room, got a first down a little bit more as he gets tripped up out of bounds at the 48-yard line, but the chains will move for North Carolina Central, and he was taken out of bounds there by Ryan Ramey, redshirt sophomore for the Monarchs.
Might be an interesting game up there in Blacksburg. Monarchs are going to be coming in with a lot of momentum, positive vibes going in. The Hokies, and that was a knockdown game against NC State last week. A very good NC State team.
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina. And I tell you what, that South Carolina, they did a good job defensively, the Hokies. Their offense, though, kind of let them down in that game. As Jones gets popped and he fumbles the football, and oh man, Old Dominion has recovered it. And it's just been all Monarchs here.
Recovered by
Chris Forbes.
First down.
Recovers the fumble for Old Dominion.
Look at the guys coming out. I mean, the starters and everybody coming out. They don't care what the score is. The guys make plays. They're going to celebrate for them. I mean, the half of the sideline is out getting congratulations, not only to the recovery, but to the guy that forced it.
Let's get another look at a good hit here, and it pops out before he gets to the ground, so it was definitely a fumble. We'll get another angle of it.
And a couple of guys there. It's hard to tell which one forced it out.
Yeah, the ball was just laying out there. It looked like it had a couple players had a shot at it but didn't get it, and then Forbes falls in it for the Monarchs. So Quinn Hinnekle back out for.
I think it was James Carver, who punched it out of there.
Travian Hargrove, the running back, with Hinnekle. Gives it, Hargrove's right up the middle, big hole. He's got a first down, a little bit more as he gets taken down at the 37-yard line.
Monarchs closing in on big-time rushing numbers. They're closing on 300 yards now.
So Hinnacl now has him once again in North Carolina Central Territory. Gives it. Hargrove, good fake by Hinnacl, and Hargrove still going to the 31-yard line. As the clock keeps ticking, up on the 8 minutes left here in this football game. By the way, Virginia Tech up 20-10 at halftime at home against Vanderbilt. Trying to avenge what was a very gut-wrenching loss to kind of get their season started off on the wrong foot last year.
Yeah, they're coming in with higher hopes, I think, this season than they have in a while.
Low snap. Hinnacl picks it up. He's going to have to run forward with it. He's going to lose some yardage. Bring up 3rd and 7, it looks like, for Old Dominion. They need to get to the 27-yard line of the Eagles to keep this drive moving.
That South Carolina game, I think, feels worse than it actually was. Because you look at the numbers, the stats were pretty even. I think most of the Hokie fans are going to feel like that game was worse than it actually was.
Yeah, Drones missed some stuff, and obviously the turnovers hurt. But I thought their defense looked really good.
It looked like a Virginia Tech defense.
It looked like
that lunch pail.
Yes, it did. So Eddie's going to have their hands full next week. It'll be a big challenge before they hit an early bye and then have Liberty back here. Keeper for Hinnacl, he's trying to find some running room, gets some of the yards back that he lost in the previous play, and he dives forward to the 29. See what Ricky Ronnie does. He's going to try a field goal. All right.
That's an Old Dominion squad that has not played around in the non-conference games the last few seasons.
No, this is last year, of course, it was South Carolina and Virginia Tech and Bowling Green in the first month, and Bowling Green on the road. Of course, they got that win. And East Carolina, who came in here, was a really good team. So
this year it's starting at Indiana and then going to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, these Septembers have been tough. All right, Riley Callahan, they're going to mark the ball at the 37-yard line. This is a 47-yard attempt. During warm-ups, he was crushing them. High snap on the inside. He gets the kick away. Looks like it's going to go right on through the uprights and then some with the room. So Riley Callahan drills it for the Monarchs. 54-6 now with 6:13 to go here in this one, as it's been all ODU in their home opener. We'll take a timeout as well. You're watching college football here on ESPN+. Back here at SB Ballard Stadium, Old Dominion, after a Riley Callahan 47-yard field goal tying a career best, lead it 54-6. 6:13 to go here in this ball game, and it has been all Monarchs. They blew this thing open in the third quarter of play after it was just a 16-3 game at the halftime. Trey Oliver, not so kind homecoming of sorts for his.
Yeah, all he
squad
wants to do now is get out of here as healthy as possible.
Yeah, we've seen some injuries for both these teams tonight. It's the last thing you want to see any football game, and certainly we look at it from North Carolina Central's perspective as they get ready for the MEAC season. Deep kick, and coming out his heels in the goal line and stood up quickly was the return man, Darrell Taylor. He didn't have much running room.
Coverage has been pretty good. Special teams is going to feel good about that after giving up a 91-yard punt return last week.
It was Eichner who they've been splitting the kickoff duties tonight, and Eichner with the last couple. And earlier we got a look at Mikhail Yakovlev for the first time as well as kickoff man tonight. So quarterback remains Josh Jones, the backup for North Carolina Central. Will Harris tonight came to an end to the latter part of the third quarter. Excuse me, Walker Harris. Here's the give. Straight ahead, pretty good movement and spin, and a nice first down run from one of the backup running backs. That would be number 22, Zion Dobson, for the first time at a Hampton, South Carolina.
I wondered how long they were going to keep Mosley in. I mean, they had
Mosley
Rogers
been in
in.
for a while.
Rogers was getting the majority of the carries the last possession, but Mosley, I think, was in for a snap or two.
He had 64 yards and 13 carries. I mean, that's really the story of the night, or 15 carries, excuse me, the way this ODU defense took away their biggest weapon. And here comes Jones going right side. There's going to be flags everywhere there, so that might come back. It was maybe a pickup of 2.
Well, the score took away their biggest weapon more than anything
well,
else.
that's true, yeah. But they just couldn't get into that. Mosley wasn't moving the chains for them like they normally get.
Personal foul. Blindside block. Offense, number 12. Half the distance to the goal.
So blindside block
Replay
by
to down.
one of the receivers.
Quentin McCall.
Yeah, McCall gets flagged for that, so that will back up North Carolina Central with
We can
5:27
see it
left.
right there. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
Coming in, the crack back. That used to be play design. You could do
Sure.
that. Receivers love that. We used to, because that's the only time you really get a good clean shot on a guy coming in motion, coming cracking back like that. But you can't do that anymore.
The good old days.
I never got a shot like that.
From the 14 on a 1st and 24, and
Well, I did one.
cut down quickly.
Coming across in motion, got tangled up in some stuff, wound up over by the sideline. Next thing you know, you're looking up, coach is standing over top of me on the sideline. Good job, Michelle. Not only did you give us a 15-yard penalty, you missed the block. You blocked him in the back.
So Zion Dobson with a no gain on the 1st and 24, 2nd and 24. And again, this time Jones keeps it going right side. He's scrambling around through some Monarch defenders, gets it up close to the 20-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 19. So it brings up a 3rd and long for North Carolina Central. Clock moving with 4:23 and ticking. Of course, we will have one more stoppage for sure with a 2-minute timeout.
We were talking about in the break for the Monarchs. I mean, yeah, you're beating an FCS team, but A, it's a pretty good FCS team.
Right.
And B, the last time they had an FCS team in here was whatever they changed their name
2
to.
years ago, Texas A&M Commerce, which I think is now Northeast Texas.
Yes,
A&M or
something like that.
Yeah.
But they almost lost that game.
They had a goal line stand, I think, right? It was like a
Yeah.
10-9 game or something like that 2 seasons ago. Yeah, that was a little closer than they expected it to be. So big stop there, and 4th down coming up.
Dobson got up a little limpy there as well.
See the punter, Brandon Bowman, once again.
Seems like he might be all right, though, walking it off.
And he was able to walk it off. Zion Dobson, the running back, who's coming here to clean up. We did not see Maggio tonight. Might have been an injury situation, but he's usually the second running back. Here's the snap. Bowman boots it away, and it's going to hit the 44 and keep rolling. Good bounce for Bowman. and North Carolina Central, and they'll down it at the Old Dominion 27. That's where ODU's Quinn Hinnekle, we assume Quinn Hinnekle will stay in the game. Yeah, he's still got his helmet on. He's going to come out, finish this one off for ODU with 2:59 to go.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a lot more other than turning and handing it off.
So really good balance from the Monarchs tonight. 277 in the air, 259 on the ground. But next week, of course, the Virginia Tech Hokies in Blacksburg.
And this is, I mean, make no mistake, this is a rushing team. This is the Monarchs want to run the ball. It's what they did last year, and whether it's with the running backs or whether it's with the quarterbacks, they want to run the football first and foremost.
ODU's got Troy Marquez in the ball game, the new running back, as Hinnekle's running around and gets taken down, maybe a yard gain. That was a little dangerous there from the quarterback.
It's kind of a late decision to not give that off.
And Troy Marquez, a redshirt freshman out of Stonebridge up in Ashburn. A few Stonebridge kids in this team, of course, Gladding, one of them. We do have an injured player.
He was trying everything he could to stay
Timeout,
in, but
North Carolina Central. That's their first time out of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
yeah, they took a timeout to make sure they protect. Sometimes you got to protect players from themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah, he was trying to get back to the line. It was 2:34 to go. And yeah, you just
I believe that's best.
You want to
try
try to
best.
Yeah, you want to try to limit any injuries here at this point if you're both of these teams. You just want to get out of this game healthy as much as you can. Talking to Ricky Rowney last week, and I know you did as well. I mean, the thing that frustrated him from Indiana was he just knew they didn't play their best in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
And, of course, some of the mistakes really ate at him.
Talking about your best.
There's Traquan Jones. How about a stat line there? 4 carries, 3 touchdowns. Oh, yeah, 160 yards. So 40 yards a carry, and also a program record with a 93-yard touchdown run.
4 touches, 3 touchdowns, and a record. We'll take that for a good night.
Marquez goes up the gut, gets about 4 yards, so his first carry of the season and of his Old Dominion career for that matter. If ODU lets it run down to the 2-minute timeout, they could. Play clock's at 19 and obviously 6 in the game clock. Instead, Hinnekle gets him to jump. He's going to get a free play, and he's going for it all. And it's incomplete.
It worked.
Yeah,
it worked earlier.
It did. 1:57 to go. And they're going to call the offside.
Offside. Defense.
North Carolina
and the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty.
I don't think they were planning on snapping it with 13 seconds on the play clock. But when they jumped, you get a free play, you may as well.
Yeah, so there we are to the 2-minute timeout. Old Dominion rolling at home tonight in the home opener over North Carolina Central. Stick with us for the final few moments here on ESPN+. Back inside SB Ballard Stadium after the 2-minute timeout. 1:57 to go. All Monarchs 54-6. Scott Jackson, Andy Mishaw here. Old Dominion facing a 3rd and 1. Quinn Hinnkel, the quarterback. He's going to hand to Marquez. Going to go straight ahead, and Marquez got the first down, a little bit more, and that should do it for the Monarchs in terms of just eating up this clock. So he gets it out to the 45-yard line. So Troy Marquez, the redshirt freshman, getting some work here on this final drive.
Yeah, you should just take it down. Couple of knees should eat it up.
Or are you getting some personnel in here? They're going to go into that knee formation you're just mentioning. Of course, you know, back in the day, and you were talking about things from the old days, you would see a guy go under center to take a knee.
Yeah, he still do this from
the
shotgun.
They still do this, yeah. A few years ago, I remember asking one of the offensive line, the center here, about when was the last time he took a shotgun, you know, had to do a shotgun or non-shotgun snap and under center snap, and he couldn't remember. He thought it was maybe middle school that he was playing as a center. Just shows you how the game has changed. So
coaches are hesitant to do that because if you haven't practiced it, I mean,
Right.
A lot of people think, you know,
Right.
you're on the goal line or you got a half a yard to go. It should be easy. Just go up and fall forward. But if you don't work on it,
Right.
you're asking for trouble.
I'm just amazed at how many centers today, like we don't have more bad snaps, right? I mean, you have some here and there, but overall the centers have become really good at being able to
They do
get
it all
back.
through high school.
Yeah, so used to muscle memory at this point. And Quinn Hinnkel takes the final knee, and that'll do it. So Old Dominion rolls today in their home opener 56-6 as Ricky Ronnie heads across the field to find Trey Oliver. With these coaches talking about how much they admired each other's programs and what they've been able to do. And certainly a tough one for Trey Oliver and North Carolina Central. I mean, again, a 16-3 game at halftime ends up going 54-6 as ODU had that big third quarter where they outscored the Eagles 28-3.
Yeah, I still think the MEAC better not fall asleep on these guys.
Agreed. I think there's a lot of talent on that team as well. And you see the embrace with Brandon Crutchfield, whose father played with Coach Trey Oliver at North Carolina Central, and Crutchfield picked off a pass tonight, and I'm sure they're having a conversation about that. So,
but he was his roommate. He played with him, but he was his roommate.
Yeah, how could your roommate's son do that to you, right? So, Old Dominion and the fans tonight here get to celebrate. Let's look at some of the highlights, Andy. And here was a big one, obviously. Traquan Jones' first touchdown run at 29 yards.
A lot of these highlights are going to see number 20 running. And Joseph got his thing going. He felt pretty good about this with 3 touchdowns tonight after coming up with 3 interceptions last week. Again, it was tight early on. That was a big play on a 2nd and long that kept the drive going. Then they got him in position, put points on the board, and like you said, at halftime, this game was not over by any stretch.
Here's the school record run from Traquan Jones.
Until here. It was 16-3 at that point. But their first possession got quashed, the Eagles did, and then that happened to them. And then it became kind of a throw game. And the Eagles could not get anything going once they had to put it on the air, and the Monarchs knew they had to put it in the air. Joseph found a rhythm, got going. There's the one to Watt on the busted coverage on the wheel route. That was the most open, really, receiver that they had. That one and the one in the end zone to Thomas. They made some contested catches tonight, too.
Well, that will do it for us. A 54-6 final for Andy Mishaw. I'm Scott Jackson saying so long from Old Dominion, where, again, the Monarchs roll tonight 54-6. All games airing on ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Good night.